some peace of mind. But TikTok said a gator drove a Jeep through the blinds. Florida man's at it again with fireworks and a goat. And someone married a ghost in a Dollar Tree coat. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is going on? Aliens dancing in a Waffle House song. Karen's got a taser in the checkout line. And Dr. Oz just adopted birds to fight off crime. Oh, I'm just sitting here scrolling, my jaw on the floor. The internet's a circus and I can't take no more. Yeah, when it's wildin', there's a raccoon in the sink. Someone robbed a Wendy's just to steal a frosty drink. A pastor's gone viral yelling about the end is near, while folks ride hoverboards in wedding gear. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is this mess? Florida's a movie, but it's filmed in VHS. Someone fed meth to a squirrel named Dave, and now he's in a cage just throwing rave. I'm just...
Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday because yesterday there was no way in Hades I was going to wake up. Hagatha decided to be a diva and she was just not in the mood to do anything productive whatsoever yesterday. She was being a diva. Good morning, Jason J. Sounds great. Well, we have got a lot of headlines. And thank you, Jason J., for being a member for 6 months. Narf. We have got some pretty big headlines, a lot of Final Form Jesus, along with kind of a good Final Form Jesus story. So I might just rename that Walmart, What in the Walmart Rapture Stories? I don't know. But we got a lot of them. Our first story is, well, pretty terrifying. It looks like 3 are dead and 8 are wounded after a boat pulled up and opened fire on a Marina restaurant known as a tourist hotspot. This did happen in Southport, North Carolina, but this is looking like something that is very, very scary. A shooter escaped on a boat after pulling up to a marina and opening fire on a group of restaurant diners, killing 3 individuals and injuring 8. Now, the suspect, whose identity is still unknown, pulled up to the popular tourist hotspot in Southport, Carolina, around 9:30 p.m. on a Saturday night, according to Cheyenne Ketchum, the city's Cheyenne Ketchum. That's the spokesperson name we're going. Okie dokie. Hey, you know what? I have named my kids weirder, so. Shots rang out near the American Fish Company before the suspect fled the scene on the intercoastal waterway toward Oak Island, which is about 40 minutes outside of Wilmington. Now, the shooter was the lone occupant of that boat. Shortly after 10 p.m., the U.S. Coast Guard observed a person matching the suspect's description loading their boat onto a public ramp, according to town officials. Now, a person of interest was detained by the Coast Guard, brought in for questioning by the Oak Island Police Department, with assistance from the State Bureau of Investigation. Town officials assured residents that there was no further threat to the public and that the investigation is ongoing. Now, officials previously issued an urgent warning to locals to avoid the area and remain in their homes. Now, they did write in a Facebook post just before 10 p.m. that there were reports of an active shooter at Southport Yacht Basin. So this will be a story to definitely keep an eye on. No, it's Cheyenne Ketchum, which, again, try and catch them for this story. It does seem like they have a person of interest in custody. Whether they have enough to actually charge him, they're probably proceeding with search warrants and things like that. So, you know, in our justice system, you need all of those things before you can take away someone's freedom. There are an unknown number of injuries. Avoid the area and remain in your homes. Please report any suspicious activity immediately to 911. Now, the boat was described as a white center console boat. The Brunswick County Sheriff's Office confirmed on social media that they were assisting the city of Southport with the incident. They were one of multiple law enforcement agencies responding. They said, please keep all those affected as well as first responders in your thoughts and prayers. Now, as of 11:30 p.m., a person of interest was being questioned, according to Star News, but no one was officially in custody. Now, during a press conference at 1 a.m. on Sunday, Southport Chief of Police Todd Coring said that they were working between two crime scenes, one where the shooting occurred and another on Oak Island where a person of interest was being questioned. So again, there is a lot probably going on. They probably do have the right person, but they need to be able to prove that. He said it was too soon to determine motive. Extra police patrols were called into Southport. He added, just know that you're as safe as you can be right now. Well, I don't like my government officials saying, you're just about as safe as you could-ish be. Seriously? Now, this is a story I didn't even pull, but the yogurt shop murders have been a very well-known kind of mystery in true crime for a long time. Yogurt shop murderers, suspect identified by cops in a stunning breakthrough after 4 teen girls were unalived in 1991. A suspect has been identified in the execution-style unalivings of 4 teenage girls at a frozen yogurt shop nearly 3 decades ago. The bodies of Eliza Thomas, 17, Jennifer Harbinson, and Sarah Harbinson, both 17, along with Amy Ayers, 13, were found burnt beyond recognition inside a storeroom in a I Can't Believe It's Yogurt shop in Austin on December 6, 1991. Now, if you've been a true crimer for a long time like I have, this has been one of the big mystery unknown, so this is going to be big news, and I hope we get to see a trial and justice finally comes for these 4 girls' families. I mean, for one family to, it looks like, lose 2 children, twins, this is good news. Now, police in Austin, Texas announced Friday that Robert Eugene Bashers had been linked to the unsolved murders through a wide range of DNA testings. Now, oh, damn it, I hate this. I hate this ending because I'm guessing he's getting plenty of justice from Satan, but it just feels hollow. Now, Bashers died by his own hand in January of 1999 during a standoff with law enforcement. He also had an extensive criminal history, including attempted red rum, burglary, impersonating a cop, and unlawful possession of a weapon. Now, CBS News reported that investigators managed to link a bullet casing found in a drain inside the yogurt shop to the force multiplier he used to shuffle off this mortal coil. Now, the girls were found not clothed, gagged, tied up, and stacked on top of each other. Each had been shot in the back of the head, and at least one of the teenage girls had been SA'd. The yogurt shop murders stunned the Texas capital city and became known as one of the area's most notorious crimes. Now, Austin police investigators and prosecutors stumbled over the case for years as they waded through thousands of leads, several false confessions, and badly damaged evidence from the burnt-out crime scene. Just absolutely horrific. Now, in November 1986, Bashers was convicted of an attempted second-degree murder stemming from a 1985 incident in San Luis County, Florida. About 2 years later, he was arrested in Paragould, Arkansas, for attempting to break into a residence of a single female. Now, on January 13th, 1999, he took his own life in Kennett, Missouri, after a 4-hour-long standoff with police. Now, law enforcement in Austin looked into more than 1,200 possible suspects over the last 34 years and secured dozens of confessions. Now, the case remains open and ongoing investigation, and Austin police said they are set to host a press conference on Monday, which I definitely want to check into. We might not be able to do it live because of the Tim's case with Megan, but we can definitely go over this. I want to see what they know. So I'm writing it down in my handy notebook. About... Alrighty, so I've got that for Monday. But it's definitely a big piece of news and very interesting because this has been one of the bigger cases in true crime. And I am glad that we finally know the monster that did this, or at least can give an answer of who did this, and the cold comfort that he is probably getting tormented by Satan right now personally. I don't have many dreams, but I hope that's possible. Now, their announcement happened about 1 month after the release of the Yogurt Shop Murders, and I definitely want to do, so that is on HBO, and I want to do a review. Sorry, I can't talk and write. I have noticed this about me. So there are gaps where I have to write things down because I cannot multitask like I used to. I used to be able to do 12 things at once. Not with great success at any of the 12 things, but enough that I felt semi-competent. Now there is no way. So it was an HBO documentary series following the killings, the investigations. Now, two of the girls, Jennifer and Harbinson and Thomas, worked at the Austin Yogurt Shop, while the other two had just stopped by to catch a ride to a slumber party after the store's closing at 11 p.m. Some of them were SA'd before being shot. The shop was then set on fire, which destroyed much of the evidence and the soot-covered fingerprints. Authorities originally centered their investigation around 4 teenage boys, Robert Springsteen, Michael Scott, Maurice Pierce, and Forrest Wellborn. And this is a very big case. It is probably going to take me a long time to go through it with you guys because there were 4 boys that they tried to lay the blame on this case on, and they managed to get coerced confessions from all 4 of those. So not only were these, young girls' lives ruined, they also ruined and destroyed 4 young gentlemen's lives just to try to find the answer without any proof. Now, Springsteen and Scott did confess to the murders while in custody. Springsteen was tried, convicted, and sentenced to capital punishment in 2001, and Scott was sentenced to life in prison after being convicted in 2002. However, the pair's convictions were ultimately dismissed by the Texas Court of Appeal on constitutional grounds. They were both freed in October 2009. And these are 2 of the boys that basically, these aren't 2 boys, but then it was 2 Mexican nationals that had done this, and they tried to go after them. Now, separately, 2 Mexican nationals were arrested in connection, but later ruled out as suspects. Mexican authorities took Porfirio Villacerrada and Alberto Jimenez Cortez into custody in October 1992. Now, Saavedra had apparently matched the description of the man who was seen in a vehicle outside the yogurt shop on the night of the murders. Now, the Mexican Attorney General's office claimed that the men had confessed to the Red Rums. However, Saavedra, a member of Miradas Punk's motorcycle gang, recanted 2 days later and claimed that the Mexican police had coerced him into confessing. So this is an entire cluster muck of a case. And it's going to take me a while to get on that. or at least to get the whole story out to you. But we will be doing probably a weekly review of an episode and kind of digging deeper into this case, especially if, this is moving forward, if there, have any leads as to whether there was an accomplice or anything like that. It does seem a little far-fetched that one person, I see it both ways. I see that one person could, with a force multiplier, could definitely cow for children, for teenage girls, but I also foresee it to be very difficult to maintain control of that situation. And, perhaps this, according to his, CV of criminosity, his, rap sheet, he has done this before. He has tried to break into people's houses. He's done a lot of craptacular stuff. So Satan, take it away. Honest to goodness. In a little bit of a palate cleanser after those two stories, Tim Allen said he was inspired by Charlie Kirk's widow to finally forgive the man who took the life of his father. It deeply affected me. Tim Allen is learning to forgive. The Shifting Gears star posted on a post shared on social media how deeply affected he was by the comments made by Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica, at the memorial service for her conservative activist husband, or we could just say her husband, over the weekend. So much so that Allen said he was finally able to forgive the man responsible for his father's death because of it. Quote, when Erica Kirk spoke the words on the man who took or killed her husband, that young man, I forgive him. That moment deeply affected me, Allen wrote in a post on X Thursday. I've struggled for over 60 years to forgive the man who took my father's life. I will say those words now as I type. I forgive the man who took my father's life. The comedian concluded his post with, peace be with you all. In November 1964, when Allen was just 11 years old, his father's life was taken in a car accident involving a drunk driver. Now, the home improvement star previously spoke about the lasting impact that his father's death had on him in a 2011 interview with 2020 anchor Elizabeth Vargas. In it, he revealed he had a curious relationship with God since his father died, questioning that he maybe if he prayed harder or if he'd been with his dad, the outcome would be different. For years, I just did not like this idea of God, church, he told Vargas at the time. I was still a churchgoer, but constantly a cynic. But he eventually changed his tune about his belief in a higher power. Whoever built me, this is too much, too weird to have happened by accident, he said. It didn't happen by accident. Now, again, I think this is good. Forgiveness sometimes isn't about the other person. It's about letting go of the revenge or the anger you've been holding on to. Sometimes you don't even need to tell the other person you forgive them. You just, in your mind, say, okay, this is how they are. This is how they human. And, I just maybe can't trust them the way I did, but I'm not going to, again, keep, hanging on to this anger, this grudge. And I would like to tell you, as a, professional grudgeologist holder, I say this because karma has definitely kicked my behind for holding on to anger and hurt and things like that for a long time until it weighed me down. And it feels like breathing again when you just say, I'm going to let this go. Now, it doesn't mean I pick it up once in a while because, like I said, I'm not Oprah or Jesus. That being said, it's easier to get my mind back into the, you know what? This is no longer mine to carry kind of thing. Like I said, I do this with like the sincerity of Dumbo holding his feather, but sometimes I don't have that feather and I'm stuck at the grudge shack. So again, do as I say, not as I do. And I realize that this is so much harder, to say or to do rather than, actually live. So just my advice, and I don't listen to me half the time. Well, I guess Assata Shakur has caught up with her grandson, Tupac. That being said, there are rumors out there that Tupac is totally alive, so I don't know how that works. Now, Assata Shakur, a Black Liberation Army activist, has passed away in Cuba at 78. This woman took the life of a police officer. She's not a freedom fighter. She took the life of someone. The Colombian government has announced that exiled activist Assata Shakur passed away in Havana on Thursday at 78. Now, Shakur was a figure within the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army. Now, she was convicted of murder in the 1973 killing of New Jersey State Trooper Werner Forrester. She was shot twice during the incident, taken to the hospital where she claimed she was laid hands on and tortured. Now, she escaped prison in 1979, later fleeing to Cuba, which gave her political asylum. There, she has proclaimed her innocence in the shooting. Now, Shakur was on the New Jersey's most wanted list and was the first woman on the FBI's most wanted list. The state did try to extradite her, but it wasn't successful. She stayed in Cuba till her death with a $2 million reward for her capture. The Cuban Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that she passed away in Havana of health complications and advanced age. In her autobiography, Assata Shakur said, "It's our duty to fight for our freedom. It's our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains." Okay, so love each other and support each other also includes like violent retribution unalivings against a police officer you really didn't have any personal relationship with, because I am confused. Also, you don't have any chains because you escaped prison and went to a communist country for political, asylum, which you're kind of lucky that, let's see. Oh gosh, what's his name that all the tankies usually have on? They always have the Guerrera, shirt on. He was really not good with people of different ethnicities and sexualities, so I don't know why they constantly wear his shirt. Now, she was born as Joanne Byron in 1947 in Flushing, Queens, and grew up in New York City along with Wilmington, North Carolina. She got involved in political activisms and tisms, I guess, at the Borough of Manhattan Community College and City College of New York. She changed her name after graduation to be known as Joanne Sismard. Now, the Black Liberation Army was a clandestine Marxist and Leninist organization that advocated armed resistance against systemic ism and state violence. Now, she is survived by her daughter, Kayua Shakur, and extended family. Shoei Guevara, thank you. I knew it was a name. Thank you, Auntie M. Yeah, so no one got to collect their $2,000. Now, in about the longest final form Jesus, like what in the Walmart rapture is going on here, I think segment that we'll have for a while, because there are just all the crazy stories today or lately. So for our bigger, longer, and louder final form Jesus story of the weekend, good Lord in heaven, do we have some stories.
The key keep its grove, thou glowing shrine of thirst traps, scams, and dollar signs. We chant in tones both grim and low, for virtue fled a long time ago. Kyrie eleison, Christe descendat, final form Jesus return in wrath. With six-pack listening, sword in hand, he cometh swift to cleanse the land.
Justin Bieber, the only story I will deign to do about celebrities getting married, because apparently Selena Gomez is now a married woman. Let's see. Mo, from The Expert, Mo, what did you have for breakfast? I'm having a Greek taco. They call it a gyro. Yes, that is weird. To be honest, I haven't had anything for breakfast yet. I should probably have one of my protein shakes. And that's not a euphemism. That's just what I'm supposed to be doing because I'm not always hungry. The new medication that my doctor wants me to try is a slow buildup to actual pain relief, but a quick onset for like basically cutting off my hunger cues. It does speak of decreased appetite, but I actually don't need that. I need to actually be hungry. Mr. Mo and I got into an argument because Mr. Mo is trying to be healthier too. We are just on tangent time. So Mr. Mo is trying to be healthier too. His doctor was like, let's, small choices with the help of some medication will get you back on track. So he doesn't have to taste to eat. Now, my husband is a military veteran, so apparently he's just like, I just eat food, it's there. And he picked up a bunch of healthy choice meals, and absolutely none of them looked good to me. So I was like, can you just go get me a Baconator? I haven't eaten all day. Like, it's the only thing I'll probably eat. Like, can you go get me a Baconator? And he's like, we need to eat healthy foods. And I was like, yeah, none of the healthy choices look good to me. So we either need to, go get me meals that I can make here because I agree with you. We're spending way too much on eating out. But I need something that tastes good. He's like, no, you just eat it and you don't taste it. I was like, no, honey, you married the pickiest person on the planet. So we agreed to go get some of the mini pizzas that I like and different things that taste good for now. And then if I find a healthy choice that speaks to me, which honest to God, if healthy choice speaks to you, like I don't heaven help you. That being said, Mr. Mo loves them, so shows how marriage is sometimes weird and sometimes people can eat weird food. Although I am the pickiest person. Like I told him, you are correct. Can I just get some meals that I like? So, we don't spend a lot of money on fast food. Like I agreed with him. I just disagree with, I don't have to be picky because I am picky. But back to the Justin Bieber, has been ruthlessly trolled by fans on social media as his ex Selena Gomez tied the knots. It wasn't for this penis hat. I mean, there is so much to troll about this man. He's married. Like, I don't think he gives a crap that his ex is getting married, but there you go. Just look, I know the Gomezites or Gomez heads or whatever Selena Gomez cutesy name that they have figured out for themselves. It's really, I don't think a multimillionaire, actress / singer / whatever the hell she is needs you to go in and fight her ego battles. I think she's just fine. That being said, it seems that people are, just trolling the ever-living Schnell out of Justin Bieber. And of course I click on that headline, but I don't deign to read the article because, again, there are so many things here. And on a completely serious note, because I actually don't like to see people train wreck in real life, especially when they have a family that's depending on them. So he doesn't look well. He doesn't look well. He doesn't look happy. So I hope whatever he's going through, he has someone to say no to him because this is looking not so great. And as much as I like to make fun of him for his hideous fashion, like, why are you wearing a jacket on top of a hoodie, but obviously no shirt? Like, I don't get this. I don't get any of this. I don't get the saggy pants showing me your undies. I don't get any of, and then with grandma's orthotic, That looks like Grandma's orthotic mixed with LL Bean to create the world's first orthotic hiking shoes. That being said, I do have to wear the ugliest shoes because they're the only thing my feet tolerate, but still, I just think there's a genuine hope that he doesn't, explode everywhere. That being said, we have another adult pretender who's fighting for justice by removing her boobs. Alyssa Milano is getting rid of her breast implants. Well, there goes the charmed reunion that never needs to happen. Honest to God, those heifers cannot stand each other. So this might be the other reason that we're never going to get a charmed reloaded. We got a charm redone with not any of the original people because they were trying to make it darker and edgier. Alyssa Milano is saying goodbye to her boob implants. Feminism. The 52-year-old actress shared a post on Instagram of herself in a surgical cap and gown, along with a lengthy caption about the change she's making to her body. I mean, I want one too, but I don't think I'd be posting it on Instagram. Nor is it a political statement. You are not the Rosa Parks of nipples. Stop it. Also, okay, what is it? What is with these like very heavily drawn on eyebrows that you can tell were stamped on with ink? I'm asking for a friend. Like, these are just my eyebrows darkened up. I don't thicken them. I don't mess with anything that God created me other than the unibrow he gifted me with. I do pluck that. But I am a blonde, so you wouldn't tell unless I told you right now. And I don't think I'm the Rosa Parks of the unibrow. I just, again, today I am loved. I am feminine. I am attractive, and I am successful. And none of that is because of my implants. I will still be all of those things when I wake up and they're gone. It's just going to look like sad, deflated gym socks, ma'am, but you do you, whatever you want to do. There is so much joy in that knowledge and freedom of letting go of what was never me in the first place. I don't know. It seemed like you were very proud of them every single episode of Charmed when your tits were half hanging out, but sure. She's like, I wasn't evolved. Then I let people tell me that bigger boobs were going to give me screen time. And when it did, I liked the money. But now I'm older and they're saggy and they're hurting my neck. So for the love of God, oh God, it goes on. It flippin' flapjack goes on. It's her struggle. Oh my God, if Alyssa Milano writes her version of my struggle, I'm buying the shit out of that. That would be the most hilarious thing. I swear to goodness. If you want to, talk about being a real woman, a real fighter for justice, how about we sit down and have a serious talk about Iran, where nearly 1,000 young women who broke some stupid backwards country ass law from a deeply misogynistic religion lost their lives this week. How about we talk about that? How about we talk about 50,000 Christians that have been slaughtered in Nigeria? I'm sure some of those were women. We can talk about the Yemeni Christians. I am so done with these fake feminists who do selfish crap and then call themselves the Rosa Parks of nipples. I am done. There are real women out there who face deadly consequences for showing their hair, for saying no to a man, for getting assaulted. And I am just done with it. Get your boobs taken off. I don't care. But don't make it like you are an absolute, Martin Luther King of titties. I'm done with it. You have no idea. There are women, sisters, if you're a feminist, ma'am, that have lost their lives for simple things like their hair showing. So how about you, step out of the back of the bus and help somebody if you want to be a feminist, instead of helping yourself and calling yourself brave for getting implants taken out. I'm sorry, normally I don't get political or ranty, but it just irritates the ever-living snotballs out of me that women like this won't raise a voice when real women are risking their lives. You want to talk about being a feminist, ladyist, whatever. I'm done unless you actually speak out about the real violence, but you won't because it's divisive, because it's a real thing and it's hard, and you can't just be a slacktivist. You can't just go online and put on Instagram posts that you're a brave ladyist, you are the Rosa Parks of nipples because you're getting your implants taken out. Meanwhile, there are families that have lost their girls again for showing their hair. So I am done with you, Alyssa Milano. I only pulled your story so I could go on this particular rant. And thank you, Raiders from Baker. Thank you. We are in the Walmart Rapture segment of Sundays with Mo. Yeah, it seems like they had at least 2 more years in them before you needed to rotate the tires. I mean, what are the Kelly Blue Book values for, old implants? I do not know. A Texas teen has been accused of faking his own kidnapping, and it set off a frantic Amber Alert. A frantic search for a Florida teenager has been abruptly stopped as evidence emerged that his disappearance might have been a hoax. Caden Spade was reported missing on the afternoon of September 25th. Now, the 17-year-old was initially believed to have been, hit with a freedom seed and kidnapped by 4 Hispanic men who claimed to have taken him in their van. Now, police investigated the spot where Spate was last seen in Marion County, Florida, and found evidence of gun violence as well as the teen's abandoned car and his cell phone. But further investigation revealed that his disappearance might have been entirely fabricated. Police found footage of Spate stopping at several stores before his disappearance was even reported. He purchased a tent, sleeping bag, and bike from a nearby Walmart. Police said he actually left the store on his new bike, having abandoned his truck. He was found alive and well on September 16th. Oh, son, you are never living this down. Also, you look a whole lot like Opie, so this is going to be hilarious. And you took your new Huffy out. Oh, he bought a Huffy to kidnapperate himself. Isn't that special? What the hell is wrong with this person? Like, they're not going to investigate a kidnapping that has, gun violence and looks like it's, an out-of-the-blue cartel thing. Now, according to Click Orlando, Lieutenant Paul Bloom said, "We learned through this investigation that the shooting or abduction by some folks in a van was unfounded. We've not been able to verify that at all. In fact, we've confirmed just the opposite. Spate may face charges if he reported the disappearance, and it is confirmed as a deliberate hoax. In Florida, knowingly filing a false report can be a first-degree misdemeanor or second or third-degree felony. Now, an Amber Alert was sent out to aid with his rescue, and his disappearance triggered a multi-agency search, including a police helicopter that searched for Spate all night, according to The Independent. Now, the Uvalde Foundation for Kids allocated their services, as well as offering a $5,000 reward and sending out representatives to search parks, restaurants, and gas stations. Now, they formally withdrew all of their resources, according to Local 10. Yeah, maybe realize that if you buy all these things on a Walmart at a self-checkout, you are on camera, and you will be seen kidnapping yourself by riding your bike. Now, amidst the search, Spate's family issued an urgent plea to find him. His sister wrote in a since-deleted Facebook post, "God, I just want him home. I can't sleep or eat or do anything not knowing where he is and if he's safe. Please do not stop searching or looking." Okay, this little twerp needs to go to Snake Island. I mean, because that's some bullshit to pull on the general community, but that is hella bullshit to pull on your family, like the people who birthed you, who care about you, because at no point when you're missing, when you're gone, when you're playing this stunt, do their brains not imagine the most terrible, craptastic things? Now, at least your parents didn't self-delete like that stupid heifer from Hawaii who decided to go on a complete unplug break for, mental health or ISIS or whatever, and her father self-deleted. Just absolutely ridiculous. He's going to Snake Island. Judge Mo has confirmed.
It's a curse, we got room for the wicked, the cruel, and the worst. If you lie, if you cheat, if your soul's made of bile, you're bound for the fangs and the venom in style. Oh, one-way ticket to Snake Island. Oh, let the conscience, less cowards and gaslighters go. No anchor, no lifeboat, no tearful goodbyes. Trust isn't in company, cold-blooded skies. Your friend.
Well, now I'm not claiming I am a fashionista, but I just think that's a whole lot too much booby to be showing at a wedding. And I'm not saying she's not beautiful and she doesn't have an incredible figure. I'm just saying Mo would not be comfortable with the amount of boobage going on here. And, if you're getting married in a church, I don't know how much the minister is going to be happy with you, popping a nip possibly. Well, this star went viral for her non-traditional pink wedding gown. Why the dress made waves? Cleavage. I'm guessing cleavage. Rapper Monaleo's magical wedding has the internet abuzz. But it was her non-traditional wedding gown that captured people's hearts. The Houston artist jumped the broom with her rapper beau, Stunna for Vegas. You've got to be kidding me. Because it looks like Mon Aloes, like Monaleo? What the hell are these names? They actually live streamed their nuptials on TikTok. You tell me it's a little bit tacky without telling me it's a little bit tacky. You live streamed it on TikTok. Now, prior to the ceremony, the putting ya dine, as you can probably tell, I have no idea who this heifer is. Rapstress? What the hell is a rapstress? Okay, stop making up words unless you're Mo. These are non-sanctioned Moisms. Raptress is not... Hojacent is what I would call the wedding dress. I like the color. I think it looks stunning on her. I'm just not wanting to see that many boobies of the bride. But apparently she documented events leading up to her celebration of love, dubbed Stunna for Leo, garnering millions of views on social media. Notable moments include Stunna's pink suit and his emotional reaction to his bride as she floated down the mirrored aisle. The mirrored aisle. Okay, boobies and mirrors. This cannot be happening right now. One person even said they wanted a pink dress. The dress, the decoration, the man crying, the song. Okay. Oh, and she has another Hojacent dress. I will say this actually covers more. If she had worn this as, the gown, I think that's elegant. It's more boob than I would ever show, but it's not as tacky. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why you want to be with your husband making the biggest promises of your lives worrying about your nip falling out. I don't get it. Like I said, I'm not a fashionista. I'm not a fashionologist, but if my daughters wanted me to pay for that dress, we'd be getting we'd have like a lace doily attached with beads. Where the hell is everyone's humanity? That is why I put this in the what in the Walmart rapture, because you have got to be kidding me. Now, actor Mike Helson passed away after restaurant staff failed to intervene or perform any life-saving acts after a collapse and complaint alleges. Now, actor Mike Mike Heslin allegedly passed away after staff at a Las Vegas restaurant he was dining at failed to intervene when he collapsed in June 2024, a new complaint alleges. Now, Heslin, known for his work on projects such as the TV series Lioness and the movie The Holiday Proposal Plan. Obviously, this must be a Hallmark adjacent actor. I don't know any of this stuff. Passed away at 30 on July 2nd, 2024. The late star's husband, Scotty Dynamo, nay Nicholas James Wilson, confirmed that he had passed away from an unexpected cardiac event after a week-long battle in the hospital. Michael was young, in perfect health, and doctors have no explanation for what happened, Dynamo said at the time. Why would you change your name to Dynamo? In a wrongful death complaint obtained by People, which was filed on September 18th in Clark County District Court, Nevada, Dynamo accused staff of the high-end Mexican restaurant Javier's of failing to perform any life-saving intervention after Heslin suffered a medical emergency at the restaurant located in the Aria Resort and Casino on June 25th, 2024. Now, again, you can ask for help, but if someone is not trained in how to do CPR or anything like that, or they don't have an AED, or they don't know where it's stored, they really can't offer anything, because if they did something and messed up, you'd be going after them for wrongful death of practicing medicine without a license. So I sort of get both sides here, and I think that more details are going to have to be known. But you don't know if those employees have actually had training. Now, if there was an AED available, again, the AED is not going to deliver a shock unless it's required. So you would have to prove that he had a cardiac condition that would have been ameliorated by the AED, and if one was available and they weren't trained. So there's a lot of things that will need to be investigated. Now, the complaint alleges that Heslin's friends immediately called for help and moved the table out of the way to lay him on the floor. However, the complaint claims that Ara and Javier's employees stood by, taking no immediate life-saving activity, and failed to initiate support or any efforts that could have helped Michael's life. They were also accused of failing to perform CPR or not retrieving an automated external defibrillator, an AED. Upon information and belief, defendants either failed to keep a stock and inventory of emergency response equipment, including but not limited to an automated external defibrillator, or failed to train their staff on where AEDs were stored. Also, whether the regulations in Nevada do places of multiple or, high occupation, such as casinos and resorts, are they required to have one? Because if they're not required, then of course they wouldn't have one on scene. A woman allegedly attempted to perform CPR on Heslin at one point. However, the complaint alleged that an employee forcefully interfered and removed her from the scene. The defendant's failure individually and cumulatively approximately caused or substantially contributed to Michael's preventable death. Michael's death was an avoidable tragedy. Now, the complaint alleged that employees threatened to have Heslin's friends arrested or trespassed and reportedly demanded that they delete any video of the incident. Dynamo is suing on 5 counts of wrongful death, loss of consortium, negligence, negligent hiring, retention, training and supervision, and gross negligence. Now, Dynamo and Heslin's estate is also seeking general and specific damages exceeding $15,000, as well as funeral expenses, loss of consortium in excess of $15,000, and punitive damages, plus reasonable attorney fees and cost, interest at a statutory rate, and other relief as the court deems proper. Now, MGM, which operates Aria, didn't respond when contacted for comment, and they obviously, wouldn't have won't comment without their legal department. So definitely this is going to be one to look up, but again, it all counts on what are the regulations between AEDs? Are there requirements? I guess so. It might actually turn out to be my weekend stream because Mr. Mo takes the boys to church and it's quiet, which is a rare thing. It is a very rare thing. So there you go. Be on the lookout for that. Though if he thinks he's going to get, easy money out of this, I think he's got another thing coming. These big, huge corporations have their own legal departments. Well, I mean, how can I get one of these for my neighborhood? Because we're allowed to have golf carts and they go up to 30 miles per hour. I am sold. Shut up and take my money. Power Drive tricked out emergency golf cart that speeds up to 30 miles per hour has been unveiled for the Ryder Cup police patrol. Because do golf celebrations go wild? I mean, all the time I see golf on the TV, it's quiet. Are they going to shush people that are too loud? Like, what the hell is going on with this? They've gone off-roading down to a T. They've got off-roading down to a T. Oh my God. New York Post, I beg of you, stop. Cops took a swing at an all-terrain style patrol at the Ryder Cup on Long Island Friday with a tricked-out new emergency golf cart, complete with chrome wheels, a siren, and speeds achievable of up to 30 miles per hour to handle potentially unruly crowds clashing over an American versus European rivalry. The golf cart that we're using has a little bit of a wow factor on it. It's very modern, even has a video screen, so it's pretty sharp looking, said New York State Parks Police Mayor Anthony Escato. Well, I'm glad to know where my tax money is going. Also, do I get a timeshare where I get to play on this thing? I know I'm not a resident of New York, but I'm guessing you probably dipped into some federal funding. So when does the rest of America get to take a ride on our taxpayer-funded, golf cart here? It's the Golfinator. The cutting-edge ride has thick ATV-style tires that can zip across a grassy or muddy landscape at the tournament at Bethpage Black Golf Course, where the competition pits 12-player teams from the U.S. and Europe against each other. Now, the police said the new high-speed cart, which costs $10,000 with custom upgrades, allows them to zoom across the course faster than a car when responding to potential security, crime, or health emergencies. It's going to help the police render aid quicker for any reason. We have a helipad on the other side of the park for helicopter landings. To get there would be probably 20 minutes by a car. It took probably 6 minutes in the cart. Now, this cart is the first of its kind for the state park police and initially belonged to Todd Miller, a Long Island lawyer and passionate golfer who sought to better equip the authorities with the help from his business partner, Gregory. Okay, I foresee kickbacks in this. Some guy just donated, a golf cart out of the goodness of his heart for golfology. Also, question. Again, to these really, really kind people who apparently like to gift golf carts, I could use one because my neighborhood, the golf courts belong to dickheads and it's just not a priority. So if you could help us start saving by sending us a golf cart too. Thank you. In conclusion, amen. As of Friday, golf fans who traveled from near and far had been nothing short of a class act in Nassau County. Well, if you don't need it, I'll take it here. I'm okay with a used golf cart. They were really nice people, well behaved, Assata said ahead of Friday's opening round of Plea, which 55,000 people were expected to attend. The way things have been going over the last couple days with practice rounds, if the tournament is going to be anything like that, I think it's going to be pretty tame. Now, his comments came after Team Europe has been bracing for the worst jeers from American fans, as the continent's best golfers simulated fever-pitch decibels and virtual reality headsets to gear up for America. Apparently, we are loud and chaotic in America, and we say freedom. I can't believe they were gaming, jackass American reality. First of all, not all of us are like that. Second of all, we do know how to be quiet once in a while, but we will throw your tea out in a bay if you try to overtax us. So, there you go. This has to be, please tell me we do get body cam of them just, running after someone on a Segway or a hoverboard. I need this in my life. Well, the cruise duck prank is causing big problems for Carnival. Hiking and hunting for rubber ducks around cruise ships has become an extremely popular cruise activity, especially on Carnival ships. Although not a cruise line organized onboard activity, Carnival has embraced the fun of the cruise duck phenomenon, even going as far as introducing a duck mascot inspired by the trend. However, not all cruisers think the trend is fun. However, some argue that passengers get way too carried away with the cruise duck hunting, turning a simple game meant to spread joy into an onboard nuisance. Now it appears that the cruise line duck trend has led to an onboard prank that's causing trouble for the cruise line and some of its passengers, and that was probably the prankster's intent. In a September 24th Facebook post, Carnival Cruise Line brand ambassador John Hild warned passengers about the prank and sent a message to the person who started it. Now, the post included a photo of a rubber duck found on a Carnival ship with a message attached to it that appeared to come from Carnival. Now, the message offered the finder a free drink redeemable at the casino bar. According to its brand ambassador, Carnival did not create the tag or hide the duck. Please stop doing this, whoever it is. This is not fair on the guest, and it's not fair on the bartenders and bar servers who have to be the ones to say, sorry, there is no free drink. And if you find one of these, well, unfortunately, you've been pranked, and we're apologizing because it isn't very funny. These ducks were brought on board by another guest, and any promotional offer you may see on them is not valid. For a duck's sake, please stop doing this. In the comment on the post, some cruisers expressed their amusement with the prank. One even suggested that the passengers might be doing it in protest to the unpopular loyalty program changes that Carnival announced over the summer. Haha, too funny. Guests reclaiming their perks that have been taken away, Steve Tzikis commented. Now, he didn't appreciate that comment and replied to underscore how the prank was causing difficulty for the crew members and guests. He also pointed out in his reply that the cruise line isn't actually dropping the free drinks perk from its loyalty program benefits. Now, other passengers suggested that the prank might have been started by someone who isn't fond of the cruise duck hiding trend and wants the cruise line to ban the rubber ducks. I mean, that would be my evil plan. Someone doesn't like the ducks and is probably doing this. They'll figure Carnival will ban the ducks if everyone takes one like this to the bar for redemption, said Douglas Palmer, obviously the Sherlock of the group. Now, that may very well be the case since the cruise ducks have become quite controversial amongst cruisers as the trend exploded in recent years. But why the cruise ducks are a nuisance to some cruisers still baffles those who appreciate their original purpose. The ducks are just a fun thing, simple and fun. Why someone would complain about them or go a step further and try to sabotage them is out of line. Please let the ducks just be the way they are, a way to bring joy to someone. One person, commented, well, frankly, I haven't been on a cruise. I haven't caught a duck. So this really doesn't apply to me. So I'm kind of okay with whatever happens. Now, in a good final form, what in the rapture or possible God works in mysterious ways story. This is probably the most heartwarming story I've seen with the "What in the Walmart Rapture" headline. A woman gets engaged to a police officer who found her when she was missing as a teen. Well, that's one way to bring He's so tall. He looks like her dad. That being said, they are a really cute couple, but he just looks like it was bring your daughter to work day. A 28-year-old woman revealed how her teenage disappearance had a happy ending. Roro Nicole shared a now viral TikTok video how she disappeared from her not great home when she was 13 years old. I had to get away, she said in the clip, explaining that her dad had threatened to red rum her and her siblings. Now, once she escaped, Nicole explained that her parents freaked out and called the cops. The police were unable to find Nicole that night as she hid out. I knew the officers had no idea what was going on at home, she added. I was afraid that I was going to be made to go back home, so I found a safe place to go. It was in a subsequent TikTok that Nicole explained that when she was eventually found, she was placed in the foster system where she remained until the age of 18. Now, several years later, she began working at her local sheriff's office where she met an officer named Tyler who kept staring at her. Now, toward the end of her time at the job, she said the nervous officer approached her and struck up a conversation. From there, we became friends and started hanging out, talking on the regular. Oh God, I hate this generation's slang. Nicole recalled. It was during one of those conversations she opened up to him about running away from home as a teenager, and when she shared some more of the details about the time frame and location of the incident, something clicked for the officer. He said, "I was searching for you," explaining that he'd lived nearby at the time. He was so surprised and didn't know what to think. She added, the whole situation was shocking to both of us, but I thought it was pretty cool. Nicole went on to explain that she and Tyler started dating and got engaged 7 months later, flashing a beautiful square-cut ring to the camera with a smile. Now the engaged couple is still working together at the same police department. Defending their 10-year age gap, Nicole insists it's normal. I have a 9-year age gap with Mr. Mo. I don't care. You're 28. I don't give a rat's rah-rah if he's, 38. So I'm 5'6", and Mr. Mo is 6'4". So he's gotten used to me wearing platforms, and then when I don't, he's like, "You're so short." It's not impressive, because how do you look stern and mean when basically the person is looking down at you and seeing a midget? I don't know. So I don't give two rats rah-rah if, they have a 10-year age gap, they both look happy. I don't give two damns. So if anyone has a problem with it, I don't. That being said, it was kind of a what in the Walmart rapture headline, but a good story. Well, I thought higher education was about book learning, but apparently it's actually about looking at international, automobiles. College students hold annual Northwood University International Auto Show. The 62nd Northwood University International Auto Show happened over the weekend in Midland, Michigan, and it wasn't your typical car show. Enthusiasts organized everything, but these were students who, with alumni returning for homecoming, made for a crowded campus with more than 65 car brands present. If you walk around, you'll see students everywhere and not much staff, said Nick Horn, a freshman from Howell, who is a pitcher on the baseball team. The undergrads did a lot of the heavy lifting for the show. Horn hoped the auto show could help boost his career as an entrepreneur major with an emphasis on the automotive aftermarket. He was really proud to be a part of this student-led event. I mean, I guess. I'm not a carologist. There were regular cars, race cars, supercars, hypercars, emergency vehicles, military armored personnel carriers, and a semi-truck. Not as flashy, but equally important, a couple food trucks were parked on the campus to keep the audience well-fed and hydrated throughout the show. Northwood University is a small private institution specializing in business and marketing and refers to itself as America's Free Enterprise University. The car show is hosted throughout the campus and is organized and run mostly by students attending the university with little direct involvement from the faculty. Let's see. Danielson Hernandez, a freshman majoring in automotive marketing from Pontiac, worked at the Infinity exhibit where a couple of vehicles were on display. This is not my jam. I wouldn't go. It's peoply. I don't care about cars, and it's peoply. I don't understand what a hyper car is, but I'm guessing it's just more expensive. Does it go faster? Does it get you out of a ticket? Does it make your boobs perky? I don't know. None of that, then it's not really a hypercar, is it? Can it make you a margarita while microwaving a Hot Pocket? If it can't, then it's not a hypercar to me. Well, speaking of the Ryder Cup, apparently there was an act from God earlier in the day. Video captured power lines exploding over Ryder Cup fans. I mean, you know what? I would actually watch golf if they added fireworks. That being said, I'm sure golfers would hate that, but I would watch it. Wild video captured a power line exploding over golf fans in Long Island, New York on Friday, September 26th, on the opening day of the Ryder Cup. Now, sparks from the electrical power line and a loud explosion sent some people running from the crowd waiting to enter the Bethpage State Park golf course, known as Bethpage Black. Now, the course is located in Farmingdale, about 35 miles east of New York City. Shot by Nicholas Tien and shared on X, the footage shows a power line near one of the entrances of the course catching fire. Moments later, the power line explodes with a loud zap. Even the power grid at Bethpage couldn't handle the Ryder Cup tension. Come on, Europe, Tegan posted with a caption of the vehicle. Now, it's not immediately known what caused the explosion. USA Today contacted PSEG Long Island on Friday, but has not received a response. The occasional exploding golf. Hey, I would watch it. In sad news, but this will definitely be big with, a lot of athletes in training for the next, Summer Olympics. This is just terribly sad news for the gymnastics, family, I guess, international professional family. An elite Indonesian men's gymnast has passed away after a training accident in Russia. And that is what people tend to forget, is that these are inherently dangerous things to do if you aren't trained correctly. And sometimes even with the best training, an accident happens. An elite Indonesian men's gymnast hoping to compete in the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles passed away after suffering a neck injury while training in Russia. Naful Tadir Al-Bayari, 19, fell into a foam pit during a high bar routine in Penza and passed away 12 days later on Thursday, according to a post from the Russian Federation. He passed away at G.A. Saharian Hospital in intensive care. He was preparing for the Artistic Gymnastic World Championship from October 19th to 25th in Jakarta, Indonesia, and was a candidate for the Olympics in 3 years. Today, we remember Naful, whose dream was to compete on this arena. The Indonesian Gymnastics Federation posted on Instagram, "May every step we take, every nail we place, and every corner we build be in tribute to his spirit, so that this venue becomes more than just a competition ground, but a place where dreams are celebrated and history is made." Ital Yuati, chairperson of the Indonesian Gymnastics Federation, said in a report on Olympics.com that Al-Bari was a talented young athlete and a good person. Indonesian gymnastics has lost one of the finest sons. This is a deep blow and sorrow for us. May the family be given strength. Now, Albari and 4 other national artistic gymnasts, along with 2 coaches, were training at the Palace of Sport Training Center, Bertisy, since September 1st. The Russian Gymnastics Foundation said that they conducted an investigation. We conducted the necessary investigation, and all the circumstances surrounding the injury have been established, says Vice President of Russian Gymnastics Federation Vasily Tidov in a report by ABC News. Unfortunately, the athlete was not prepared to perform such a complex element. Are we victim blaming the athlete when isn't it incumbent on coaches to kind of know when you're ready to do something instead of pushing you to do something you don't have the skill for? I mean, this is like, did you see what he was wearing? He obviously deserved it. And again, Russia, no one really listens when you grade your own paperwork because you're kind of known to be, well, corruptish about it. 3 months ago, Albari made his international debut, competing on the 4 exercise and pommel horse at the Asian Championships in South Korea. Now, on July 23rd, an Italian gymnast, Lorenzo Bonacelli, 23, went into a medically induced coma after falling during the steel rings competition at the 2025 World University Games in Rheinberg, Germany. He regained consciousness and was transferred to a spinal unit in Milan. In May 2021, Savrine Dalja Abak, 21, of Cameroon, passed away from falling from the uneven bars and suffering a neck injury during training. So these are incredibly dangerous and complex moves that could happen, that could go terribly wrong. I do not like the implication that he was not, ready to do this, and that's why he failed. I really do feel like it's on the coaches to know what your athlete is ready for, to have them build strength and skills to get to the next level. So this seems to be on the coaches for me. But I'm not a Russian or a gymnast or an expertologist in any of this, so maybe Russian Gymnastics Federation is A-okay and totally impartial while grading their own homework. I'll believe that when I smell it. Well, we've come to the portion of naming and shaming on Mornings with Mo, because justice is a journey, but Lordshipy awaits.
They steal our grace. These monsters wear a human face. No gavel, no badge, no throne, no crown can stop Lordshipy from burning them down. Justice ain't fast, justice ain't clean. It's a long, sharp road through the in-between. So raise your fists and light your flames. Chippy's coming and he don't play games.
Well, I have suddenly realized that criminals aren't smart people, but this has to be the dumbest MFer that has ever walked the human. I am shocked that this man knows how to convert, oxygen into CO2 without someone holding up a sign that says breathe. A teen smoked a cigar and took bajillions of selfies wearing the glasses of a dead woman he beat, stabbed, and strangled with his buddy after dumping her in a pond. First of all, there are rules. Don't crime. Second of all, if you're going to crime, don't create your own evidence by using Snapchat, LinkedIn, or any number of social media things. Don't write about your crime. Don't talk about your crime. Don't brag about your crime. Don't wear the glasses of the victim that you unalived, in all the Snapchats. An Iowa man who allegedly helped his friend kidnap and red rum a woman whom the pal had used to date snapped nearly 200 photos of himself wearing her glasses, with prosecutors showing the alleged selfies at his ongoing trial. The photos of Dakota Van Patten, 19, of Cedar Rapids, were accompanied by videos of him posting and vaping while wearing the eyewear, which belonged to 20-year-old Melody Hoffman, who had been dating Van Patten's friend McKinley Lasoma, according to Lynn County prosecutors. Now, a medical examiner testified this week about how Hoffman was either pregnant or recently had been at the time of her death. Geez, just gross, dude, gross. Is it possible that Melanie Hoffman missed a period by this point? Asked Lynn County Attorney Monica Slaughter on Tuesday. Yes, it's possible, said Dr. Kelly Cruz, the medical examiner. So there's a possibility that if this was a new pregnancy, this was something that she could have realized. She knew what was happening to her body. Slaughter asked. Now, potentially, yes, Dr. Cruz replied. Now, Lucima, 24, was convicted last year of first-degree murder and first-degree kidnapping, along with conspiracy to commit a forcible felony. Now, most of the pictures and videos that Van Patten is accused of taking were captured on Snapchat app per the Cedar Rapids-based CBS affiliate KGAN. Now, they were allegedly found during a search of his phone. Don't phone your crime. Don't film your cry. Why is this so damn hard, you idiots? Don't crime. How about just don't be a douche? Now, the pair allegedly attacked Hoffman at the pond in Amana, an unincorporated area about 19 miles southwest of Cedar Rapids, then bound her with duct tape and strangled her before dumping her in the water. Now, the Iowa County Sheriff's Office responded on February 18th, 2024, to the pond at 120th Trail and 38th Avenue after Hoffman's body was found. Now, an autopsy determined that in addition to dying by strangulation, Hoffman had also suffered stab and slash wounds all over her body. Now, detectives connected Lucima and Van Patten to the killing by talking to witnesses and tracking Hoffman's movements through data from her iPhone, Apple Watch, as well as Van Patten's phone. Now, they learned that the pair allegedly picked her up around 11 p.m. on February 17th, took her to Morgan Creek Park in Lynn County. While at the park, Hoffman's Apple Watch showed that her heart rate intensified before it either stopped or the device was deactivated. Now, Lucima allegedly admitted to cops that he and Van Patten had bound her wrist with duct tapes as she begged them to let her go. The two men, took turns laying hands and stabbing Hoffman, then strangled her, according to police, putting her in the trunk of Lucima's car and driving around to several locations. Now, Lucima told cops he ripped off Hoffman's clothes and dumped her body in the pond. Now, police recovered a phone case, Apple Watch with blood on it, a bungee cord, a towing rope, and clothing matching what Hoffman was wearing the night she died. Prosecutors say they believe that Lucima and Van Patten used the towing rope, which was shown in court, to take Hoffman's life. Now, Hoffman and Lucima were dating before the murder. He also was intimate with another woman. Prior to picking up Hoffman, Lucima and Van Patten allegedly went to Walmart where they brought gloves and 2 machetes. So they went to Walmart and got a killer kit, a red room kit on camera. I am so glad that criminals are this stupid, and my heart breaks for the family learning this heartbreaking news in a courtroom. Probably all this information has been withheld as to her condition and what caused and the pregnancy. So this is just douche McDouche. Bilbo's balls, you may have a point. Well, in proof that God's mill grinds slowly but relentlessly, and I can't say I feel anything bad about this. I actually kind of like this story. Look, it makes my heart pitter patter and my soul grow 2 sizes in the dark side. A special education teacher set to learn his fate for murdering his wife suddenly dies in a courtroom. Again, I find nothing wrong with him. Bon voyage, bitch burrito. I hope you have fun with Satan. A Texas man was set to accept a plea deal and be sentenced for allegedly taking the life of his wife, had suddenly suffered a medical emergency in court and passed away. James Paul Anderson, 39, was charged in the Harris County Court with taking the life of his wife, Victoria Lynn Anderson, in 2023. On Friday, he was out on $300,000 bond when he returned to court to enter a plea on the murder charge. Now, James Anderson was set to agree to be sentenced for 35 years in prison as part of the plea deal, the Harris County District Attorney's Office said. Then a shocking event occurred. Now, the defendant is to have said to have been talking with his attorney before asking for some time alone. When he returned, he spit into the trash can and minutes later started vomiting. Houston CBS affiliate KHOU reported, citing a witness at the courthouse. Now, a video obtained by the outlet showed James Anderson being wheeled out on a gurney. A court bailiff gave him naloxone, or, the Narcan, to try to see if it was an OD. The Houston Fire Department first responders brought him to a local area hospital. However, he was pronounced dead not long after at 11:05 a.m. James Anderson worked as a public school special education teacher when he allegedly shot and killed his wife while she was on the phone with 911, claiming her husband was threatening to shoot her. The couple's 3-year-old son was "You douche canoe," and what an ass. Now his child is alone, and God dang it, does it break my heart when kids have to deal with adults' bullshit. So now this child doesn't have a mom anymore, and he doesn't have a dad. I do hope there is some family member or someone with their heart wide open that will take this little boy in, love him like he was birthed to them, and none of this touches him. But I know that's not reality. I know this is going to affect his life. And even if he gets taken in by the most warm and loving foster parents and they treat him no differently than if they had brought him home from the hospital, he's still always going to wonder why daddy made this choice, why daddy took mommy away. And there's never going to be any good answers, because sometimes it's just evil. Now, while the dispatcher was listening to the wife's pleas, they heard a gunshot. Police officers arrived at the home on Vista Ridge Vista Ridge Drive in Northeast Houston and asked for the husband to step outside his house. He reportedly refused to go. How did this man have bond? How the hell did this man have bond? They basically heard the shot, heard the red rum, and they're like, "You're free on bail on your own recognizance. We trust you." Now, he refused to come out, but he did allow his young son to exit into authorities' care. After several hours of negotiation, the suspect surrendered to officers, the Houston Police Department said at the time. Now, inside the house, they found Victoria Anderson unresponsive with a gunshot wound, and paramedics pronounced her dead. Now, James Anderson was then booked into the Harris County Jail, but he did receive bond, $300,000 worth. His death on Friday is being investigated, and the autopsy will be conducted by Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. So once we get, any kind of understanding of what this really was, I will give you guys an update. I will be following this. Now, again, bon voyage, douche canoe. I hope you drop the soap. Start with one, take your time. A plumber admits he tried to hire a hitman to take his wife and 6 children out. What? I'm not excusing, I'm not condoning. I can understand the wife. If you're getting divorced, I can understand the wife. But the kids? You want to go on a kids? Jason, I am wondering that too, because he went away for some alone time, and you've got the guy who did Charles Lake and Leonard Ng. In that dynamic duel of demonists, Charles Lake unalived himself with a cyanide poison capsule, and he did kind of have some of those symptoms with the frothing at the mouth and that kind of thing. But I'm not an expertologist. This is Alabama. I was going to, honestly, I thought we were going Florida man on this one. I thought this was full-on Florida man. But no, it was a false Florida-ing. An Alabama man tried to hire a hitman to take the life of his wife and 6 children because they had, quote, turned against him, end quote. This is not Game of Thrones, sir. Only to discover he was confessing his planned crimes to an undercover federal agent. Yeah, if you're looking for a hitman... Oh. Jedi Jess, that too. That too could do it. Because, I didn't know meth was brown. I always assumed it was clear. Of course, I never watched Breaking Bad, so I don't know. Yeah, just to throw this out there to potential criminals, if you go on the internet and you type up hitman and then someone responds to you, it is like 97% that this is a federal agent or a local deputy. Muhammad A.H. Muhammad, 64, has pled guilty in federal court to 7 counts of murder for hire. Now, a U.S. attorney for the Northern District of Alabama, Prim F. Esconia, announced this week. Now, he was indicted in September 2024, but the circumstances surrounding the familial strife are said to have begun years before. Now, in November 2021, Muhammad was arrested by the Hoover Police Department and charged with DV for assaulting one of his daughters. The charge was later dismissed. Then on November 23, 2021, 3 protection orders were issued in Jefferson County, Alabama against the father. He was restrained from assaulting, threatening, DV, harassing, following, or interfering or stalking the persons and the child of the protected person. Now, Muhammad and his wife, referred to as S.A., were married in March 2021. At the time of the court document being filed last September, S.A. was 55 years old, while Muhammad's children, 3 sons and 3 daughters, were aged 34, 32, 30, 29, 22, and 21, respectively. Now, to be fair, that's a little closer together than some of mine, but kind of right on the every 2-year plan like mine were. Now, the protected persons cited in the protective order were the mother, 1 son, and 1 daughter. S.A. also filed a petition from protection from DV, where she reportedly expressed extreme fear of her husband. Muhammad has told the wife that he will come after her, the petition stated per prosecutors. The wife quoted as saying, "Muhammad has hurt myself and my children, used weapons against us." Muhammad said he wanted to put a freedom seed between my daughter's eyes. Now, another document filed by the wife described how her husband threatened to lock them in the basement and take their lives. "He always threatens me and my children with violence. He has put his hands on my children, sent them to the emergency room, and he has put a force multiplier and knife against both myself and my children's heads. He has shot at us." Now, Muhammad and his family resided in Hoover, Alabama at the time of the indictment, where the man was a plumber and owned his own business. When the indictment was filed, the married couple were involved in active divorce proceedings. On April 22nd, 2022, Muhammad was arrested by Hoover police officers and charged with felony first-degree stalking for allegedly violating the protective orders by placing GPS tracking devices on the cars of his family members, including his wife. From there, it only intensified. The following January, the vehicle of a close friend of Muhammad's wife was found burned. Hoover Police and Fire Department units responded to a home where the vehicle was parked and found surveillance footage capturing the suspect's vehicle. Now, according to HPD, the suspect vehicle had been purchased by Muhammad. The next day, a Ram pickup truck driven by one of Muhammad's sons was set on fire in the driveway of wife's residence. Now, this language suggests that the married couple had been living apart at this time. The chilling events continued as summer turned into fall, and then in the winter of 2023. In late August of that year, a GPS tracking device was found on the car of one of Muhammad's daughters, and roughly 1 month later, a Toyota 4Runner SUV operated by one of the defendant's son, and 3 other vehicles found burned in a suspicious fire. Now, the next day, SA reported to police that she had found 2 GPS tracking devices on her vehicle, and 4 days later, the son whose 4Runner had been found burned found a similar device on the vehicle. On December 10th, another vehicle was burned at the home, this time belonging to one of Muhammad's daughters. Now, this last burning occurred the very day after SA received a call from a man on behalf of Muhammad in an attempt to reconcile the marriage. She refused. 4 days after the call, Muhammad was arrested and charged with violation of a protective order for having the associate contact his wife against the protection order she had. A hearing was held to revoke his bond, during which an audio recording captured by the witness was played. As Long Crime previously reported, the defendant appeared to suggest he was willing to directly hurt his family. If you hurt them, Muhammad's family, you'll go to hell forever, a witness is quoted as saying. No, God will reward me, Muhammad reportedly replied. Now, his bond was revoked until February 26, 2024, when he was released from state custody. Now, roughly 6 months later, a cooperating witness spoke with the FBI, claiming that Muhammad had made repeat requests for this witness to find someone to take care of his family members. The defendant is alleged to have described his arrest and instances of arson. The defendant is also accused of telling the cooperating witness to get me that name or number. I don't want to see your face again. Now, when the cooperating witness agreed to find someone, he was immediately compensated by Muhammad, who paid for his hotel room that night and additional nights. Muhammad is said to have fervently requested a hitman from this witness, while unbeknownst to him, the FBI were listening in. The cooperating witness told Muhammad, "I'ma have that number for you in a couple of days. We're going to do this ish," the complaint said, to which Muhammad responded, "I need this ish done." The cooperating witness then requested a couple more days, and an undercover FBI agent was tasked with posing as the hitman. Now, on the afternoon of August 28th, 2024, the witness contacted Muhammad to arrange a meeting and provide a phone number of the undercover agent. Phones were then purchased on which Muhammad continued to speak with the cooperating witness. Now, eventually, Muhammad met with the undercover agent, who he believed was a hitman, at an undisclosed location. Now, during the meeting, the defendant explained how his family had turned against him. His family had set him up to be arrested and removed from his familial home. He also alleged that his wife had engaged in multiple extramarital affairs, conspired to steal his money and other assets. He showed agents photos from his phone as family members that he wanted, their cars burned structures, all of this. He was like, "I would like the buffet of crime, please." Then he drove the agent past the house where his wife and 2 of his children lived, as well as the home where one of his daughters lived. He said he was willing to offer the undercover officer $20,000 for his wife and $5,000 for each of the children. Listen to me, brother. There are at least 7 people, Muhammad allegedly told the agent, to which they reply, 7? Yeah, 6 kids and the mom. You pick and choose who you're going to take out and get paid. The defendant allegedly added, proceeding to refer to his wife by a derogatory name, suggesting that the agent start with her. "Start with one. Take your time," Muhammad later said. Oh, so it's an all-you-can-eat and slow buffet. Like, pick and choose a la carte. What is wrong? Also, yes, again, if you ask for a hit person, you are probably going to end up getting a fed. I would not put extremely incriminating evidence out there. But sure, just tell him to take a whack at it like whack-a-mole, and whatever family member you bonk, he'll pay you for. The defendant said he could have the money to pay what he believed the hitman would, cost within 2 weeks, but little, I don't want any bank activity. He then allegedly expressed how little he thought of his family and again indicated who his primary target was. The others, it's okay. They're trash, cockroaches, but this one deserved more, he quoted as saying, allegedly referring to his own wife. Muhammad then provided the agent with $550 as a down payment for the murder, with the balance to be paid upon the deaths of the intended targets and documents. Now, he is scheduled to be sentenced on December 10th. So I will keep that in mind and look for because I'm guessing they will do a update when we find out how many years he's going to get for, basically not paying attention and being a terrible, terrible human being. Now, where is my wand? All right. Since I moved them away to move my room around, by the tic-tac-toe pieces from my comically large game and the power vested in me by me, this woman is excommunicated from both the mother club. This is in no way, this is a human incubator now. We don't want her in our club. She doesn't represent us. What the hell is this behavior? And of course, this heifer, this mega thunder cunt, is from my state, making Indiana look more white trash than normal. We are slowly trying to poison and take over you with high fructose corn syrup, but we're not all bad. A mom left a bottle of vodka for babysitting teens who were throwing up when a 1-year-old was found wandering the street at night. And this face, this utterly cahoot face, like, why am I here? I just don't get it. Because your baby was found in the middle of the street and the people that you told to babysit him were drunk as skunks and teens. There are so many levels of parenthood and just logical functional humaning that you failed at. I don't even understand. A 42-year-old incubator in Indiana has been arrested after she allegedly gave her 16-year-old daughter a bottle of vodka before leaving the teen and her friend alone with a 1-year-old, who was later found wandering on the street in the middle of the night. Honestly, this is probably the best thing to happen to that baby. Maybe there is a family member who can be a guardian, be a better parent, and he is taken out of this situation where he is absolutely not safe. I am not usually a fan of taking away children from their family, but there are some circumstances in which the family that is your blood are pieces of human garbage, allegedly. And a child deserves maybe, a family of the heart that gives a crap. Because I'm fully on, let's do what's best for the kids. Most of the time, it's not taking kids away, but sometimes there are cases where it is better. I'm not a big fan of the, for-profit foster care system, but that's a whole other story and soapbox to get on. Hey, Alyssa Milano, if you really want to be, a justice warrior, maybe speak out for kids. Maybe, encourage all of your friends and do real posts about making child and juvenile courts and family courts actually, protect children. Maybe we can actually make a difference. But no, getting your tatas out is your freedom march. Now, Ashley Ellis was taken into custody on Thursday and charged with 2 counts of neglect of a dependent and 2 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, according to records reviewed by Law and Crime. Now, the incident took place in the early morning hours of July 5th outside of a residence located in Evansville, which is about 165 miles south of Indianapolis. It is at the very bottom of Indianapolis or Indiana, like you're going into Kentucky. We call it kind of Indy-tucky. We used to when I was going to college down there. Now, according to the report, a female neighbor found the 1-year-old girl, later identified as Ellis's child, walking around the middle of the street wearing a diaper that was full to capacity with piddle. The neighbor went outside around 5 a.m. and brought the child to safety before calling 911. During the call, the neighbor told dispatcher that she had been woken up by the sound of dogs barking. When she looked outside the window, she spotted the toddler walking around yelling, "Mommy, Mom." This just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And God bless this neighbor who looked out, who took care of this child. I mean, if I had found this, we're adopting this baby right now. Like, Mo would go feral if they tried to put this baby back in that house. That's being said, Mr. Mo would probably have to hold me and remind them that I am absolutely, a terrier. I bark loudly, but I'll never do anything. After bringing the child inside, she changed the toddler and noticed that she was suffering from a severe diaper rash. And that indicates to me that this is not a one-time thing. This was not a one-time lapse of judgment. This baby probably sits in soiled diapers for hours on end. And that is extremely painful. I have 6 children, and every time any one of them had a diaper rash, I felt so bad for them. I mean, I have a texture thing. I absolutely flippin' flapjack hate the texture of baby butt cream on my fingers. That never stopped me from putting it on my children. That's the difference. Yes, if given my, normal wants and needs, I would never touch Desitin or Boudreaux's baby butt paste. I would never touch it. It's gross. It's disgusting. But it works. So every one of my kids got some. From Desitin to Boudreaux's. That's the difference. That is what it means to be a mom. To put aside your stupid personal preferences if your kids need something. And you not only left a 16-year-old, but you left your infant child with a drunk 16-year-old. Now, upon arriving, first responders went into the toddler's home in search of a parent, but reportedly only found Alyss's 16-year-old daughter and the 15-year-old friend. Now, shortly after authorities reached the scene, the 16-year-old appeared to have a seizure and was transported to the local hospital in an ambulance. In an interview with police, the 15-year-old friend reported that she was at the said home at about 1:30 a.m. when Ellis gave the teens a bottle of vodka and left. She claimed they both took about 3 shots of alcohol. I'm guessing more than that. Oh, let me see if I can pull that up. We can go directly to that. Although, God bless it. Where is that active shooter? All right, we're switching over. Why is my... Okay, we're pulling this down. No, sorry.
Here, I just listened to it a couple times. They might have said a firefighter was down on the scanner. It was hard for me to hear it. I listened to it twice.
So again, a shooting at this church and then a major...
So I just listened to it again.
Go ahead.
So I'm not sure if that's the case. I hope it's not the case, but they might have said that on the scanner.
And it looks like this is
But I wasn't positive.
LDS church.
Go ahead for Lieutenant Alert.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which I would guess would be a Mormon church, from my understanding. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you more about where exactly this is located. I believe it's the Flint metropolitan area.
750.
It is. Yeah, this is about
City Fire Chief from North
about
Chief 2.
7 miles from Flint. about 7 miles from Flint.
That's also Chief One. Can I get some attic ladder to this door, please? Attic
Okay,
ladder to the
guys.
door. I got you. The crew on Grand West platform. Move down to the ground to your right.
I don't have any live footage at the moment. If I get some I can show you, I will certainly show it to you. I just don't have it. I can't steal stuff from the web. So if I get anything I have the rights to,
We're going to be on the Charlie side.
I will,
All right.
I will
Fire round 3, you can shut that.
show it to you.
Down. We tapped another one. So we can get
Well, I am going to pause it right here to say, if you are of the faith variety that, you know, approves of prayer, or if you're more of a general good vibes into the universe, please put one out there for the families that are involved in this and the first responders that are running toward this. We don't have any official news other than there is a fire. We are kind of waiting here like him.
I see from operations. Did you meet me on the A side? T16 EMS2.
E16, what?
Wait, I'm on my way. Glen Township Lieutenant 2 from Glen Township Engine 14 on fire round 3. Operation, Glen Township Air 18. Check that Air 16. I see Glen Township Air 15.
I know that, oh gosh, that guy whose name I can never pronounce is covering this too. And let me see if he's got a different feed.
Law enforcement that's doing security on the Holly and Saginaw side. I have the church leaders who are coming in. It's going to be President Dance and President Sanchez. They need to be let through. They don't need to come in on car. They need to come in on foot. They need to come over to the staging point where all the survivors are. So if you please relay that to the police radio.
The church leaders are getting to the scene, I guess. That's what it sounded like. Or they're gonna be brought
Why
to see
wouldn't
the
the church
survivors,
authorities
maybe?
be?
North Oakland, Chief 1, Chief 2.
So Ikmel is covering this, and it looks like he's using the same kind of cover photo. Although it does look like this was a shooting and involved as well. So we'll just.
Township Lieutenant 1, Engine 14. E16 EMS2. Call North Oakland, Chief 1. Go right ahead.
E94.
We able to read that over the police radio?
Working on it.
Chief 1, I got a crew of 3. We're making good progress in our wing, preserving evidence. I need air packs. All right. Let me know when they copy, so I can. I'm on TX with the meters right now. Let me know when they copy. That way I can let them know to come up safely. All right. Let me start working on it.
Let's see. Fox 2 Detroit is reporting that there are 6 to 8 victims at this time. Multiple people have been shot at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, about 2 miles away, very close to Flint, Michigan. Sorry, let's go back and hear if they did say to come get survivors. It looks like, or sounds like, and thank you very much for that. I will go look there. But let's continue with what I talked over. So just back.
When they copy, that way I can let them know to come up safely. All right, let me start working on it. Jackson Larson, I'm over here by the pickup truck on the A side.
E94, cancel you now. Yep.
Glen Township Lieutenant from Engine 14. Glen Township Engine 14 from Lieutenant 1.
All right.
I see from Sun.
Well, it looks like agenda free, because it looks like JLR is also using just raw tracker stuff.
One of the viewers sent a photo in from their house, and they could see the smoke in, they could see the smoke in the distance.
They're gathering empty bottles, and then we're probably going to need you to.
And I
start
am
filling
not
bottles as well.
seeing where they're getting
Or
the.
gather full bottles, please, if you will, and bring them to staging.
11:45.
Copy that. We're trying to get this water supply situated, and I'll get someone on it. All right, get one of the rookies on the bottle situation. Firefighter Mowinski, turn your valve back on. That hydrant's good to go.
Why are we letting trainees take over water? And
The one to the manifold. Affirmative. Copy.
Chief 2, your bottles are coming to the side
let
door
me see
right
if
now.
local or Detroit news.
Tennessee Firefighter Johnson from Firefighter Whitman. Are you wanting this Flint City engine to do something particular?
Burton Chief 1, Davis 171. Can you see if you can facilitate gated Y for the 2.5? We do more 2 inches 3/4. Yep, truck 1 operator, got a gated Y.
I don't know. I am looking for just raw feed.
For a Troy Medical City of Flint.
Intel Point Alert said that Fox 2 Detroit said there's going to be a press conference in about an hour.
Okay.
Intel Point Alert says that, at Intel Point Alert says Fox.
Okay, so Fox News is, the locals channel is looking like they're going to have a press release in about an hour.
2 said a press
So
conference will
we'll
be
just
held
hang
around
out here.
12:45 Eastern, which is
1405,
about an
1405
hour
Lillian
from
Avenue.
now.
They cross the Phyllis.
I am looking for just
46-year-old
the raw
female,
feed that they're using,
altered,
but I'm not
registered.
sure
I do not have ALS.
where they're getting it.
11:47.
If I get a live shot that I can show you, I'll show it to you. I don't have access to one right now. So I don't have details on the shooting. We know the shooter's down. I don't know who the shooter was. Fox 2 had said 6 to 8 victims, but
From operations, Deputy Chief.
huge fire there too. So a lot of confusing event, very concerning. Waiting to hear more. You can hear the scanner right now. They're fighting the fire on. You can hear it on the scanner in real time. Police have confirmed there are multiple victims. The shooter is down.
Well, I mean, I guess that's a small comfort that the shooter is downed, so they can't hurt any new people, but it doesn't seem like a comfort these
Chief,
days.
I'm assuming all our hydrants are being utilized. I have a large.
It seems like-
If you think we need more water, you're going to have to start tankers coming in so we can support these other aerial devices.
So they're using water to the point that they're lacking pressure in the various hydrants, so they're going to need tankers. This is probably a very involved fire.
216. They've been notified.
Do we know if there's a basement in this building?
Via broadcastify.com.
E16 EMS 2.
Go ahead.
You're going to be giving EMS command back to Metro 1.
Okay, it's basically a question. We're not real concerned about it right now. If you can find out, that'd be great.
I'm trying to get you more information here too. I've seen a lot of the same reporting here. So, and
Okay, it looks like I have to
there is
do a
fire
whole
actively
application
going on at
so
this church.
for radio
Major
reference,
fire.
I see from operations fire around.
but we will do that.
Operations from Oxford Chief 2. Go ahead.
Why this happened,
Okay, I
no
got 5
idea.
personnel ready to go. If you need them, and where do you need them? Aerial 25, the staging. The Grand Blanc City Deputy Chief is in charge of staging, please.
Okay, now I just need to go to my new inbox.
West side of interior to Operations, we lost our water.
At some point, they will send me an email, but it looks like it is a source that I can use for these live events. And it looks like Broadcastify will be able to let me hear scanners from localities when we've got a live thing like this. But for right now, we're going to take a puppy kitten break because doggone it, am I tired of reporting on these. I don't always report on them live. Generally, I'm not at my computer, and Hagatha's being a drama queen, but we just need... Oh,
When the world feels like a dumpster dive and humans forget how to thrive, take a break, just you and me, with a puppy and kitten, wild and free. Paws and purrs, let's drift away to a land where tails wag and play. No more noise, just gentle muse in our furry four-legged cruise.
okay. We'll try a little bit of JLR. Hopefully he doesn't mind me sniping him.
Oh my goodness.
Go up a little.
Stand by. We got something coming up. I'm going to share it with all of you. This is insane.
Oh my good gracious.
Look. Oh my goodness. This is horrible. Shooter went in there, shot multiple victims, and set the church on fire.
What in the hell are we dealing
This
with?
is... Oh my goodness.
I mean this quite literally. Like, what in the demonic are we dealing with? At this point,
we're just gonna loop this a little bit. Keep looping this.
I'm
Just
not
so
being
you can just see the extent of
facetious.
what is happening here in real time. This is happening in real time. This
is a
pure
totally
evil.
involved fire. To the point
Our
where
thoughts
they're
and
losing
prayers are with everyone
power.
involved. This is... Look at this.
And at a church, and I'm going to go on a tangent here because let me explain to you what my local churches have had to do in response to this stuff. We now have people in our church. We have a security plan in the church I go to. We have members who are law enforcement officers who have agreed to take care of security. But we have to have an active plan in case one of these MFers show up. And I don't always make it to church because half the time my leg is in a craptastic mood. But I'm going to give my husband and my kids the biggest hug when they get home, because no family should have to deal with this. I don't care if you're Christian, whatever denomination you are. This is just fuckery of the highest order and is so fucking evil. You are so triggered by whatever that you can't even deal with the fact that families are getting together to pray because you think it's wrong. How about you mind your own? Stay at home if you don't believe in church, but you have to go and for whatever demonic reason, take out a church? Are you kidding me? I mean, I used to say pray for their souls, but I'm just not sure they have one anymore. And I'm at the point where I'm like, no, just make us safe. I don't care about their souls right now. I care about the rest of us who are not demonics, our safety. Sorry, I'm normally not this mad, but this is... Oh.
Keep that photo there. Look at this, folks. Oh my goodness. Hopefully we get a feed up here shortly to see the extent of this situation. Also, let me see flight radar 24. See if we've got a chopper
honestly,
feed up. This is insane. We're gonna keep this like this just to show you as we learn information on what exactly is happening here. Just north of Detroit, just south of Flint, Grand Blanc, Michigan. Active shooter situation. Shooter went in, apparently shot multiple people, possibly 6 to 8 victims, then set the
I am
church
looking for
on
local
fire.
footage. Fox 2.
Right, flight radar 24 does not have a chopper up, so I'm assuming this was probably taken by a drone.
They don't have anything up on local news right now. Fox Detroit
Horrible.
2. So we'll stick here.
Try to understand more about this situation.
And I am trying to look for local news feeds because JLR does have his subscription to Broadcastify. I appreciate that he's probably going to copyright strike me later. I get it. So I am working on setting up a profile and getting the premium for that so that we can listen to the scanner. Oh, he went mute.
Folks, look at this.
Okay, it looks like there might be a local live feed. Okay, Grand Blanc, Michigan.
So they are actively trying to put the church out, the fire out of the church. Multiple people shot, smoke coming out of this church, engulfed in flames. The Mormon church, Grand Blanc, Michigan.
Okay. And I'm going to take JLR off because he has, his own channel and I want him to get credit for that stuff. But we can go here. Now the volume is up, it looks like. It looks like with all the smoke coming out, they might have successfully been able to douse the fire. Generally, you get smoke like that when the fire's down a little bit. This is still horrifying, and no person deserves to die for the God they worship. I'd be just as pissed off if this was any other denomination. Dave Bondi is reporting there are 10 victims. I hope that the community and everyone is able to wrap their arms around this family. I don't get it. I don't get this. And the fact that when I put up church shooting, it gave me stuff from 2 months ago, 2 weeks ago, a year ago. A church near Flint, Michigan, or maybe just 25 miles away from it, they had an active shooter who set the church on fire. There are between 8 to 10 victims that we know about. This is happening right now. This is the latest live feed from local news. And JLR and I think ICMEL, don't quote me on that, are also doing lives. But we are just following that. Now there's supposed to be a media or press release in about an hour's time. But yeah. And there's probably a ton of bandwidth use. I mean, think about the families who escaped the church that are calling to tell their family members they're okay. All of the first responders. So this is probably a lousy connection because of all the first responders and the victims. Quite frankly, everyone who is in that church is a victim. You know, reaching out to family, letting them know, trying to figure out what's going on with the victims. I'm just adjusting my chair a little bit so I can be a bit more comfy since we'll be here for the long run. And I'll definitely be covering this story tomorrow on Mornings with Mo. To be fair, I would be one of these people on my front yard mowing. And thank you, Squid Pro Quo. Have a good walk. I am going to start walking with my walker outside daily because I need to get my behind in motion. Motion is medicine. Yeah. Well, I'm going to see if that actually... I don't know how much you can hear because it's pretty loud when it's on its massage. I'm honestly getting back because I talked to Mr. Mo for something completely off topic as we wait for the press release or press conference. I talked to Mr. Mo about my middle daughter having started at a nursery, and with her, bless her heart, she has been constantly sick since she worked at this nursery because children are very cute, very lovable, very squishable petri dishes that bring all the stuff to our house. So I kind of had this thought experiment with my husband, and I was like, you know, I'm wondering if my body can't handle now, because I've been hurt, can't handle both the flu and dealing with pain. So I get sick and then my body experiences more pain because it has to deal with fighting off germs. So I am now taking my multivitamins. They're still gummy formed because I'm 5. Drinking more water. I got my Air Up bottle. Can't say I'm in love with the Diet Coke smell or the Cherry Coke smell, so I changed it to mango, and I have been drinking more water, which means that very shortly, actually now, I'm going to have to use the restroom. So I will keep this going. I will put me on mute though, so I can go use the restroom and then be right back. I need to make a song like Megan has. That'll be on my, let me write that down on my handy dandy notebook. Potty song. I am not getting a she-we in an empty bottle. I draw the line somewhere. Not most places, but somewhere. It looks like we are actually behind. And we're still getting no volume. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a multi-agency response, and probably a lot of the press conference is going to be all the agencies that have been involved. Yeah, I'm actually going to edit and this is actually, I don't mean, no, my stream was scheduled for the future, but I don't need it to be scheduled for the future now. Oh, for the love of Cheetos. Now, it does look like a lot of these people are people from the neighborhood, not people that were necessarily attending the church. Yeah, they are moving people back, so there might be a gas furnace or a gas boiler or something to that effect that they're worried about going up. Like I said, I'm not an expertologist. I'm guessing at all of this, and we haven't had the press conference, so, you know, that is definitely going to be something that I hope we learn. I mean, I'm just saying logically for me, it makes sense that if there is, and the standard procedure is to back people up. Again, you know, they don't know what all was in there. They don't know if anything can be, you know, potentially explosive still. That is an unfortunate female pattern baldness pattern. And I say that like, ma'am, wigs are awesome. They can do wonders. Oh, for the love of Cheetos and Fritos. Well, let me... I don't know how the people that live stream these all the time. I am looking to do more live streams when I'm just available and something happens, but I in no way want to summon chaos for me to have a live. I didn't want to report on this. I actually just wanted to, you know, have a longer, funner kind of hangout mornings with Mo. Let me see if there's any news on that one. Okay, so let me... Where is it? All right, we're gonna... Oh, now it actually has sound on. So we'll go back to this. because maybe we will hear. And thank you, Jason J. Daggone it. It looks like 2 were red rummed and 8 more were injured in the Texas thing. It really does. There are no words that justify you taking another person's life. If you don't agree with someone's values or morals, to assume they're a terrible person and deserve death is a failing on your part. Yes, because we had the Marina shooting that I reported on first.
Wait a minute. This is where I would probably cut.
It sounds like there are family members.
I wonder if they're going to use this as a staging area, or well, that's what they're doing right over there. But my husband had a feeling that they were going to. Because this is an active shooting.
I'm going to.
That's what we heard at the beginning, but we are not sure. Okay, I guess we just stopped covering for. Let me refresh. Looks like they have gone off. Let's see if JLR knows anything new. Maybe his feed cut off too. Where is he getting his feed? Are we actually on a cop's body cam? For the love of Cheetos. And have a good evening, M-Spire. Oh my goodness. So I was share this tab. Sorry. I was listening to it. So let's go back a little bit because he actually does get this on.
Look at this.
Freedom
So right
Hall?
next door is a
Jehovah's-
Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, good Lord.
They do say that the shooter is down, so that's.
I need one on the side. If possible, bomb and truck, so we need to pull a ring.
Oh!
And wait for them to confirm more.
Possible bomb in the truck. They found a bomb.
On scene. We're going to be moving staging.
That's why they're moving everybody back. They found a
does make
possible
sense.
bomb. Possible bomb found in the truck. Holy smokes, folks. Possible bomb found in the truck.
Oxford Captain 2 from Bravo Sec Command. I need to exit the building with your crew.
Bomb.
Oxford Captain 2 from Bravo Sec Command. I need you to exit the church right now. Get the video right there. Oxford Captain 2 copies for exiting the building on Bravo Sec.
Possible bomb found in the truck. They're pushing people back, I think. Possible bomb found in a truck.
Oxford Captain 2 from VSAC Command. If you see the crew from Bravo, bring them out as well.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we got some volume.
Fries isn't back to my camera yet.
Okay. Who is he covering, or where is he getting this footage from? Because it's not the local.
And we keep getting pushed back.
Possible bomb.
So it's pretty fluid.
Because I'm just
so
trying
they
to
said
find
they found some
this
sort
live
of
feed.
something in a truck. Possible bomb. Probably why they're kicking everyone out of the area. This is insane.
No, live view or the local news is still there. Let's see, agenda free.
This is the third
still
mass
has.
shooting in the last day in this country.
Okay, so is Fox 7. So Fox 2 and Fox 7 are both blacked out right now. Yeah. It might be that something is going on. Okay, here we go with this one. I have found the raw feed that it looks like he is using. I am going to subscribe to DWS News.
Bomb found in a truck.
All right, so we've got the raw feed of the person who's there. They are evacuating. There was a possible bomb found in the truck. Thank you, JLR, for letting us use your feed until I found the actual raw feed. And go sub to JLR. Sure, he was not really happy with me sniping his stream. So give him some love too, because he actually does this all the time. I'm just kind of... in an odd way, I was just on stream as this was going. You know, if they said that there was a possible kablooiator, I would be hauling my cripple behind as fast as I could shuffle away. I would not be moseying. And the Farrells are all back safely from church, which isn't something that these families can say. So I'm going to say a quick hi to them, give them a hug, and then be back here while we are waiting for more information. And this live feed is actually coming from DWS News. I did sub to them, but obviously they are out there getting the news feed that, you know, we aren't getting from anywhere else. And apparently a good look at short. Okay, dude, come on now. Sir. And now the families that live close are worried about their houses. The Jehovah's Witnesses are probably worrying about their church too. Oh my God, don't walk next to short shorts. Stop making it obvious, dude, Chacho. At least go over and pretend to interview her, not just her lady bits and butt. Fox News? All right, thank you. All right. Oh, for the love of Cheetos. Share this tab instead.
Bradley Township. That's what I'm hearing out here, yes.
Did she tell him again?
Oh, holy hell, this cameraman is going to make me nauseous. It's like if Tim Burton was filming a scene. Okay, for serious, I cannot do this feed. Oh, we finally stopped. Okay, and I'm putting on sound boost. It doesn't appear they have closed captions. Oh, I like 2CTV. I hope I said that right. Look, I'm terrible with names and I'm terrible with phonics, so I hope I said that right because I do enjoy his coverage of stuff. Yeah, no, he was just trying to check if we were seasick. Okay, is that person just standing there or is he filming something? Okay, I see the PT requirement. Oh, that would be a Mo move. I would have fallen on my ass. How embarrassing to be caught like handing out or doing the crime scene tape and then that's when you stumble. To be fair, that's a totally Mo move, only I would have fallen all the way down. Yeah. He does have the requisite bald head.
Okay. Let me call him again.
I don't know what time the incident happened. I was at home.
Exactly.
Got this call. Just one of those where you should hit.
It's Ingrid again. He says we have 30 seconds. He's really busy, so if we gotta. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep, I would have done one of those Mary Catherine Gallagher kind of things like superstar and played it off.
Hey, it's Ingrid. If they want us, I have someone from the Davidson Township Police Department, but he's gotta go. So if we want to take him live, we have to do it now. Okay. Just tell me. Okay, they said he just said stand by. That's what I was told. Stand by is what I was told. That's fine, yep. Sorry. Okay, so I was told to stand by.
I don't have time. I'm sorry. I got to get back over there.
Can we just roll on this right now?
Okay, let's just.
Are you cool with that?
Go. Yep.
Okay. Are we gonna be able to send this back?
Yep.
Okay. So first and last name, tell me.
Jay, Rendon, Rendon.
Okay, and just talk to me about what police agency are you from?
Davidson Township Police, yes. We were advised of an active shooter situation at a church down here. It was active while it was active while it was happening. I sent out a text to all of our guys, everybody go, everybody on duty, everybody off duty, everybody in and gone, including myself. So got here, the church was on fire, the gunman was down, and it's just been a very busy scene, as you can imagine.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
I appreciate your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, mine really quick. Go ahead. I got. Situation. The shooter is down. Right now, we're trying to go through, take care of any casualties and anybody needing medical. So it's a very active situation. But again, Right now, it's just a investigation, very active investigation. Ongoing fire.
And like I said, the bandwidth is probably being used by.
And you are, I'm sorry, Davison Township Police Chief Jay Rendon. Okay. Yep. All right. Can I have somebody step on one end of that?
Saw you guys pulling up from Ann Arbor. That's why I live. Hey, thank you.
Thank you,
No,
sir.
this is. I wanted to start covering some of these lives. In all actuality, I was hoping that my live streams would be like Fantabulous Escape at the Furry Convention. But this is reality, unfortunately.
I say we just break down and get back to the car.
Let me see what they want. And then we just leave. We got.
Wait, we gotta go.
Okay.
We gotta get to
Okay.
that police
Let's.
station.
Okay. Let's go. Okay. Okay. All right then.
Sir, the lady in the shorts, stop.
Hold on. Now.
Yes, it very well could be either.
Yep.
What'd she say?
Live on the screen.
Right here. Oh, Lauren's over here. I was just with her. Probably have to walk across all this lawn, and there's a cul-de-sac. Right there, the cul-de-sac, and move it way back. Yeah, unfortunately, she's been looking for you. Yeah, that was our original plan, but now we gotta separate. So, okay, she did came in and we were glad to that shot.
Oh, thank you, beautiful messy ball. And thank you, Auntie M. And we are going to probably take a puppy kitten break every so often because it's just a lot. Just seems like we never get a chance to grieve one incident until we're going to the next one. Thank you so much.
Okay, and that's exactly what I've been trying to
It
do,
will
and
be-
nobody would come to us. So
It will be interesting to see what they attribute this to, and if any motives are hypothesized to at the media
living
coverage.
in this area and also responding to this scene. So as you can see, there are a ton of units, from ambulances to police cars. We just spoke to someone
Not ambulances. Oh, dear God.
from the Davison Township Police Station. There's Flint Township Police Station. Now, what we do know is that one of the churches, obviously, is this Church of Latter-day Saints.
In, oh gosh, Grand Arbor, I believe. Let me actually double check on that because I actually had someone correct me on X, and it wasn't Flint, it was Grand Blanc, not Ann Arbor. I don't know very Michigan-y towns. It's Grand Blanc, which is close to Flint, I believe, like 25 miles outside of it. And LDS Church had an active shooter situation. The shooter is down. He also set the church on fire, or the church was on fire. And at some point, while they were putting the fire out, they located an IED or in his car. So there is a lot going on. We've kind of just got
Is on fire. We do know that
statement.
there are some victims. We don't know the status of those victims. When we first arrived here, there were
So they said it was an
buses that were
LDS
taking
church.
the parishioners to an auditorium place so that they could actually get themselves together. Again, we're about to head over to a press conference that is beginning at 1 o'clock. And we're going to find out much more from police. The guy from the Davison Township Police Department who was actually speaking to us, he was at home when he got the response call. Also, too,
All right.
there are a number of nurses
that are
So
actually,
let
believe
me.
it or not, on strike at the Henry Ford Health Department.
Of course they are. Why would they be on? Why wouldn't they be on strike? Sharing this tab. Multiple victims in Michigan church shooting. Churches on fire, police say. Now we will go back to the live stream. Multiple victims have been injured in a shooting at a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan on Sunday, according to police. Now the shooter is down and there is no ongoing threat to the public, although we did see the police and first responders push people back because of the possible IED or bomb, there. The church is currently on fire. This was from 26 minutes ago. Police are urging the public to avoid the area as emergency response efforts continue. Grand Blanc is a suburb of Flint, Michigan, and that's all we have from them. But I do know that these things have been changing as we have been looking at them. Yeah. So now we are waiting for 1 p.m. There will be a press conference. Now, we don't know the condition of the 10 victims, whether they are struggling, to get to the hospital or if they lost their fight with this. We do know that the shooter has been neutralized. But beyond that, there has not been a whole lot. Okay. So it's either the Jehovah's Witnesses or the LDS. I think they are right smack dab next to each other. So hopefully at the press conference, they'll let us know which actual church was on fire, because I've heard different things. Let's see if... Are they moving the exclusion zone back? Or just letting residents get out? No, that's a police car. They already had a restoration person out there. Again, unless these are residents that were allowed to leave the area. And if you need to drink more water, this is an Era bottle. Now they are pricey. It's like $40 for a bottle, but you get this little smell good thing and it tricks you into drinking water if you are a picky son of a bee like me. It does look like, and I'm glad that the police chief, the local police chief, brought everyone in with as big and as crazy as the fire was. The church was fully engaged in flame, and to have a bomb so close to that was incredibly dangerous. So I'm glad he called everyone in. It looks like all hands were on deck, and the stream is probably going to be choppy, especially from these news streams that are just there, because of the incredible amount of data that the first responders are probably using, from cell phones to radio to all of that. Oh, for the... This might be a mobile... Oh, it's the bomb squad, so yes. I was wondering if this was going to be the bomb squad or possibly a mobile headquarters of some kind, but looks like it's the bomb squad. I think they would let them through in a quickness, though. Earlier this morning, about an hour ago, a LDS church, at least that's what all the reports are saying. If there's a Jehovah's Witness church, then we'll change that. A church of some sort was attacked by an active shooter. It seems like he then set the church ablaze, or the church was caught on fire somehow. And the shooter has been neutralized, but the church was still fully engulfed. And they did find an improvised explosive vehicle or device in his vehicle. So they moved everyone considerably back. There is supposed to be a media hearing. Okay, so now the bomb squad can't get out because you're driving toward them. But now we see that the bomb squad has arrived and is getting closer toward the church. The reports have been scattered, but there are a possibility of up to 10 victims, and I don't know what that victim means. I don't know victim means that they lost their fight against their wounds or they were life-flighted to the hospital. But we are waiting for the news conference at 1. But this is just freaking ridiculous. No one deserves to die for the God they pray to in their holy house of worship. And I mean that even for Scientologists. I mean that for like the Church of Mooney. I mean that for everything. You know, drum circles out in the desert, crystal worship somewhere else. I don't care. No one deserves to die for who they believe in, what they believe in. If it's not bothering you, not everything affects you, snowflakes. Let's get this through our heads.
It's not here with me, no.
That, me, worshiping my God the way I want to doesn't hurt you. I don't, I'm not out here to proselytize. I don't tell you what to do. But I'm not doing anything to you. Me doing something for me is not doing something to you. I don't know who got this mentality into people's heads that, hurty feelings, anything you do that makes me have hurty feelings requires, a sentence of death. But I'm done with it. Now, we don't know the motivations or what caused this, so I might be speaking out of turn without all the information. But we've had 3 shootings now in the last 2 days, from the Marina in North Carolina to a casino in Texas to now this. And I'm getting doggone tired of it because my local churches now have safety and security plans. To the point that it's a, talked about subject, and there are plans and there are, policies to protect our church members should one of these jerk-offs decide to come to my local church. And it's getting scary. It's getting ridiculous. No one should be in fear when they're at church. That's one of the foundational things that this country was actually freaking founded on. Freedom of religion. If you don't like it, move to, the CCP. Let some centralized government of your own choosing, dictate your life. But that's not what we signed up for here. And I have a sinking feeling that there's going to be a stupid, explanation for this, or a gloss over, or both sides rhetoric. But I'm sorry. I am done with this. call this out, professional people who take time to label half the country, hankety-clanketies from WW2. Also, could you find a new insult? I mean, why break Godwin's law in the first 2 seconds if you can't come up with anything more than, this is just like Mr. Hankety-clankety in WW2? No, not everything is that. And by calling people that, by othering them, by dehumanizing them, you would think, as someone who used dehumanization and othering as a major part of what allowed him to do the evil that he did, you wouldn't demonize and dehumanize the other side. You think you would learn that lesson, but no, you learn the my feelings get hurt, and then that is violence from that. I just don't get it. So we are waiting for the news conference. I mean, that was a pretty flippin' awesome episode. Not gonna lie. Is that a mullet in the wild? I think we have spotted a first responder mullet right here. That is full business in the front, party in the back. Also, can we talk about first responders and PT requirements? Because, look, I'm not trying to be a butthole. I have been heavier. I have been thinner. But I do know that I was less able to move and run around with my kiddos when I was bigger. So can we just call a spade and maybe put some requirements for daily PT with some of these people? And I'm not talking you have to run a marathon. There are bodies that are going to be healthier at a more stocky, kind of build. I'm cool with that. I just don't think that gentleman could pick me up if I was in a fire, without putting himself in physical health danger as well. Apparently my kid's basketball coach went there. Yes, you're on camera, dingus malingus. Those are some sweet Ray-Bans, though. Yeah, it looks like the ATF has... You know what? It's slowly, but just simple walking can be really helpful. Because I used to walk 5 miles in one of my early morning walks before I got hurt. And now sometimes I struggle to do just a block, but I always try to go a little bit further than I think I can, but not push it to the point that that I try to, that I go into a flare. So it's a lot of learning, but I always go that couple steps further just to prove I can and to build up my strength. And yeah, oh no. Katie. My mom has a tendency to fall. I can't get her up, so we had to call the paramedics. They were like the size of stick figures trying to get a heifer woman up. I can say it because she does. I too have been heifer sized, so can use it, have the card, non-refundable. Neither are there stretch marks, so that's what that is. Well, we are closing in to just about 8 minutes before they have a press conference where we might learn a little bit more. Obviously, this won't be, the information that we'll get at the end of investigation. If it follows current patterns, people are right now erasing his Discord chats. Or it could be a she, but I'm guessing dude at least, not Miss Cleo. I wonder if they're expecting more. Excuse me, Mr. Beardman, I've done a crime. Now, I'm married but not blind, and look, I'm not going to say that I have a soft spot for holsters, but I'm not going to say I don't. Is that a pink mullet? What? Oh. That looks like a hairstyle that wants to grow up to be a mullet one day. What are you trying to capture other than a migraine or motion sickness? Thank you, Fundian. Absolutely terrifying. I am hearing helicopters in the background, so I don't know if they're life-flighting victims to the hospital instead of trying to take them over the ground. Hopefully we'll get some more information about this at the press conference because, yeah, this is definitely getting kind of... Thank you. Okay, so this is what Bad Duck found. No, I just need it in. Alrighty, it's pulling up because I am all of the new. Alright, uploads. Alrighty. Okay, so let me get to StreamYard, remove plus share screen. So this is actually where this happened. It looks like the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah and then the Church of Latter-day Saints, because it did look like it was a significantly larger church. That being said, you know, there could have been structural damage because of the fire or any debris to the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah. That being said, we should hear more about this, or about this from the press release, hopefully. But we should be getting, okay, here we go. We are close to the and I have everything boosted as high as it can go so that we can hear, because I don't believe there are going to be closed captioning. And if I talk, I will pause, then go back a little bit so we can hear everything. Now, I will say that the police chief did speak to a local news outlet and said that once they got the call that there was an active situation, they went ahead and called everyone in. So he was putting up crime scene tape. It does look like the bomb squad was there, the ATF. It looks like state and local police, but I'm sure we'll get a more thorough accounting of all the people now.
Make sure that everybody's ready. So, everybody ready? Okay. Hi, I'm Grambling Township Police Chief William Rennie. That's R-E-N-Y-E. Here to give you some preliminary details on an incident that happened earlier today at 10:25 a.m. within Grambling Township. First off, I'd like to say our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims of this incident, which is completely unnecessary and avoidable. The incident that we're going to talk about here today, as I said, was happened at 10:25 a.m. at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is located at 4285 McCandless Road. During this incident, what we know right now is that a 40-year-old suspect from Burton, he's a male, he drove his vehicle through the front doors of the church. He then exited his vehicle, firing several rounds at individuals within the church. 10 gunshot victims.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. Fuck this motherfucker. Like, just absolutely, you rammed your truck into a church and shot people and set them on fire. Fuck you. I don't care. I am done. I am done. I have full-on compassion fatigue for monsters. So I will pray for the victims. I will pray for the survivors. And I will hope that there will be so many more survivors than what it looked like there were, you know, and that they will be able to pick up their lives. But I don't give a crap that this man neutralized himself, allegedly in Minecraft.
Have been transported to the local hospitals at this time, including one who has been deceased. Officers who were trained immediately responded to the area. One was a DNR officer, and then one was a Grambling Township officer, where they met the suspect and they engaged in gunfire with that particular individual, neutralizing that suspect, and that suspect is no longer with us. As I said, it is a 40-year-old male from Burton. During all this incident as well, there was a fire that occurred, and we believe that was deliberately set by the suspect. We do believe that we will find additional victims once we have that scene secure. That fire was just extinguished by the Grambling Township Fire Department within the past hour. So where we go from here is we have investigators. We're going to do search warrants on the suspect's residence. We're going to find out if there was a motive. We're going to go through cell phone records, things like that. We had FBI, you know, they're devoting 100 agents to this area because, as you can imagine, there's a lot of witnesses that were within the church, and that is a lot of witness information statements that we have to obtain. So I'd like to thank all the agencies who responded, the City of Grand Blanc, Genesee County, Oakland County Sheriff's Office, Flint Township Police Department, the DNR, the State Police, and AATF. I will provide additional information for you at 5 p.m., but I am willing to take any questions that you have that I could possibly answer right now.
Chief, can you talk about the kind of the progress of events? Did the suspect set the fire to get back inside of the vehicle and then slam the front door, or did it all happen at the same time?
So from what I understand, and again, this is just a preliminary investigation right now, from what I have been briefed on, is that he rammed the vehicle through the front door, exited, then started firing shots. We are still trying to determine exactly when and where that fire ended up coming from and how it got started. So we believe it was deliberately set, though, by the suspect.
Were they in an active service when this happened?
Yes, the service was active. There was hundreds of people within the church.
Are you sure it's only one suspect at this point, or is it possible other people helped setting the fire?
Yes, it is one suspect that we know of at this point. We do not believe that there's a threat to the public. We believe that we have the guy who did this. Sir.
Could you comment on the severity of the injuries?
We have a couple in critical condition. Like I said, one is deceased. The rest of them are in stable condition.
A couple, maybe three or two, I'm sorry.
One deceased. The suspect is deceased as well. And then multiple victims are in critical condition. We do believe that we will find some additional victims once we find the area where the fire was.
Any word on the weapon? Yeah.
An assault rifle.
Any, as far as ammunition, did he have a lot of ammunition?
That I don't know of yet, and I could get you later. Hi.
Was the suspect known to authorities, and did he have any connection to anyone who was in that church?
Right now, we don't have any of that information, but I'm confident that our investigators, along with the FBI, we're going to end up uncovering all that information and provide that at a later time for you.
Chief, to clarify, you said there may be additional victims like inside the church?
Yes, where the fire was. So, and the reason why we can't confirm that just yet is because it was a large fire, and we do believe that there was people up there that were near that fire, and they were unable to get out of the church. So we do believe that we will find additional victims once we're able to search that, once there's no signs of the fire reigniting.
So do you believe that the victims that are still there, they succumbed to fire injuries or gunshots, or you're not sure?
That I'm not sure, but I could provide all that information hopefully at 5 p.m.
The shots were fired.
Shots were fired, yes.
And he had no idea how many though at this point.
No idea how many at this time.
Can you
Sir.
describe the church? Is there like a worship area, and like a gathering space or something like that?
That I have not been in, so I can't tell you the layout.
Chief, can you kind of describe the process of how things change for tactical response when there's an active fire? In every training I've seen, it's always been a building that has not been on fire. So how do you deal with an active shooter when you have that situation happening as well?
Well, we are here at Grand Blanc Township, and there's a lot of agencies within the state of Michigan. We are specifically trained to go right to the threat in an active shooter situation. And I'm proud of my guys and the DNR who responded to this scene, who immediately took that suspect out, so there was no additional victims. So it was a great job by our staff. Okay.
So
Hey.
it was a law enforcement officer that neutralized the suspect?
Yes, there's 2 law enforcement officers involved. I will be back here at 5 p.m. to give you additional information and hopefully answer some of the questions that you guys went over here today. So, okay. Supervisor Bennett?
Well, Scott Bennett, Grand Blanc Township Supervisor. Scott, S-C-O-T-T, Bennett, B-E-N-N-E-T-T. First, let me say we are heartbroken. This kind of violence doesn't happen in our community, and we are heartbroken that it came to Grand Blanc Township. And we're going to do everything we can to support the families, the victims, and our community getting through this situation. And it's something that no community ever wants to have. And we're going to do our best to do everything we can. We appreciate the outpouring of support from our elected leaders from both national and state in offering their assistance, and we probably will take them up on their offers. So we appreciate that very much, and we appreciate the community reaching out to us also. So the details are yet to come, Chief Rennie has said, and we'll wait for a little bit later today when we have the rest of the situation assessed, but it may take a little while to do that. But thank you for all the support, and I'm sure that the families and the victims are going to need that. It's a tragedy that nobody wants to encounter. Thank you.
Chief, before you step out, can you go over the process for family members, where you want them to go, who they should call to get more information and notification?
Yeah, so those family members, they are in a secure area right now. They have been taken over to Trillium, so that's where the FBI will interview them and then release them from there. So
I mean, in terms of anybody who might be at home who's not there, who wants to check in to see if their loved one is okay, is there a number or a place that you want us to know?
yes, you could call the Grand Blanc Township Police Department, 810-424-2611. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
So it looks like we are going to be getting a press conference later. What I will be covering, but I will be probably taking a break after this to get some food and see if there's any more stories about this. But it looks like we're going to get a lot more information at that one. It does look like this was planned, and at least the person who did this had a reason for doing it or a motive behind it. But as to whether or not we get I am not sure, and it looks like it has gone off. So I am going to end this stream here, get some dinner, and then come back for the 5 p.m. one. Depending on how long the 5 p.m. one goes and how Hagatha the Leg is doing, I may or may not be on with Shizzy tonight, just because this is a lot more streaming than I normally do on a Sunday. So normally this is my day of rest. But this is definitely important. So I will be back here at 5, and then I might not be on Shizzy's stream because I have been on so long today, and I do need that work-life balance. That being said, it looks like we're going to get a lot more news, and hopefully there is a lot more, information, but we do need a little bit of a puppy kitten break. Guard your mental health. You guys are the only ones that can protect your mental health. If this is getting too dark, too sad for you today, then absolutely, I don't want you tuning in if this is going to be bad. I would love, you to join us, but no click, no sub, none of that is worth you losing your mental health. So be very, very mindful of your mental health. And if you need a puppy kitten break for 5 p.m., I am willing to supply them. But if you need a longer break and you just can't, no shame in that game. I honestly understand it. Usually today is actually my day where I don't pay attention to any news. So I completely get it. Sometimes you just need a day that you can't deal with all the craziness of the world. But if you want a safe space to hang out, with puppy kitten breaks. I'll be back at 5.
When the world feels like a dumpster dive and humans forget how to thrive, take a break, just you and me, with a puppy and kitten, wild and free. Paws and purrs, let's drift away to a land where tails wag and play. No more noise, just gentle muse in our furry four-legged cruise.
And then I will see you guys tonight. I'm actually working on a thumbnail for that stream, so I will set it up both on YouTube and the Green Machine if you need a place to vent where YouTube isn't involved in censoring you. And then I will also be on X. So I will see you then, guys. Go take a walk outside. Go hug your family. We can't change the world, but we can build our circle of kindness until they all interlock. But take no prisoners. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. But have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire, because we are no longer doormats. The kind, the courteous, the, respectful, we are not weak. We are, in fact, much mother effing stronger than you know. And we're about done being doormats. Bye, you guys.